Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are welcome to yet another edition of um, Dr. Damages. And in this time, we're going to be having 90 Minutes Africa, and we're going to not only, in fact, our whatever we want to do has already been cut out for us. That means that we're going to only respond to what the prof have said concerning AIs and all that. And I know that we'll have a lot of gurus in the house. They are going to give us their own understanding and breakdown for those of us who are laymen in the area of AI, what it means and going forward, how it's going to be for the third world where we come from. People who do not have an understanding of what is going on. I heard the prof said, well, just will be taken. And I know that last, if it becomes too much, I go my village. At least the job of hoe and cutlass will not be taken from anybody with your ancestral land. So, but on a more serious note, that is the situation where Africa finds itself right now, and that is where we are struggling. I heard one of the panelists say that everything that's been designed was designed for us. I want to tell you a story. If you are a good student of the Bible, you find out that after 400 years of slavery in Egypt, and the Lord took the children of the children of Israel out of Egypt, and when they got to the desert, the desert, God had to start teaching them afresh how to be human beings again, because they lost every sense of being a human being, to the point that they had to tell them, if you want to defecate, don't defecate in the camp. Go outside of the camp, dig a hole on the ground, and defecate inside and cover it. You need to teach them afresh how to know how to respect your neighbor, how to respect your neighbor's wife, how to respect, how to deal with each other, how not to covet your neighbor's goods, how not to do this or do that. It's all there in the Bible. So you find out that as it is right now, we, in quotes, have been stripped of everything. Even our humanity have been stripped of us. And that's why people can tell you they feel so numb to what is going on in our country, and they find they always want to explain it away. What is going on, they explain it away. So what am I saying? I'm simply saying that when that happened to the children of Israel, they had to learn afresh. I think it's time for us to learn afresh. It's time for us to go back and begin to learn. Let us also not forget that those inventions and creations outside there were also done by people from our side. If you know, I'll give just one quick example. I don't know, but I didn't do any research in that. That could be wrong, that could be right. But the latest form of Land Rover, I was told, was designed by a Nigerian, because the Queen didn't want to alter the shape of the Land Rover. And so they had to find a way to continuously to maintain it while they bring it into modern cars. And that design, of course, came from somebody from our side of the country. If you also remember, the Pando machine and many other inventions, I don't want, even right now to speak, there is a drone company in Abuja by two Igbo guys, very mighty drone company. In a nation where people are not being driven by their personal idiosyncrasies, those people will have been encouraged, their production will have been enhanced, and before you know it, even for the Nigerian army, they can produce, because those drones they are producing, from the documentary I saw, is something out of this world. These are people who we have in our neighborhood. These professors are there. The guy who spoke to us, who said he cannot manufacture, if the government called 5 of them together and said, okay, this is what we want, that's how those other companies develop. They gave their people targets and say, do this, do that. The first, I give an example of when, for those of us who are Igbos, you never see any Igbo man tell you that his son or his daughter fell in business, because they know that you are going to fail the first time. They know you are going to probably fail the second time. And they know that by the third time, you start getting a handle. So when your father gives you money to start business, it will be most of the time he is not going to expect you to come back and say, I have done this. But if you do that, great. If not, most times your business will have some, So let's learn to trust our people with the government money instead of stealing it to go and buy houses abroad, to do what we need to do in our nation. And with that, I welcome Ovie into the studio, and he's going to give us his, what he learned and what he saw. Yeah, thank you. Welcome back to the studio. I am glad you came so early so you can talk all your talk, so that you know how to talk about people.
I never started the talk.
No, so go ahead now. Talk all your talk.
Okay. I think I disagree with Dr. Ndameji. Now, the engineer, the man, thank God Dr. Ndameji is an engineer, right? They actually get the point I'm trying to make, right? It's not necessarily directed to them, but at this point, KJ, we will not be children again, we'll be adults. We should be ashamed of ourselves saying, oh, Akpabio, they do this. Like, if within the children, when they look up to us, what they do? Because they will start from where we stop. If we stop with complaining, that's where they're going to pick up. Because now, what did they affect us now be that? So, we are not qualified to complain again. Our job now is to organize. So, the point I was trying to make is, all these products where they talk so, they build down with our resources. So it's not that we they beg. For the past 200 years, we are always pretty much the raw material from that point to now. Agricultural revolution that pretty much leave the Americans up to where they are. Not be our grandfather, they can shift, go do the work, labor and build whatever they have today. Fast forward to industrialization, they educate us. That's why we know if we build anything with our resources. I no want attack come from Dr. Ndameji on that aspect. We are not educating us to actually be able to live in our environment, make it our education useful to us. I say they are educating us because now our curriculum now they use, our educational institution is built based on their principles and their ideologies. So again, that's why some people go say, oh, Nigerians are some of the best coders in the world. Of course. Now, so that they talk before that, because there are people where they ship for West Africa are the most strongest for feed. You are giving your best to order. If you say the enforcement at that time, what about now? Now that education has been democratized, the institution of learning has been democratized, you don't need to say you won't go this school again to learn. That's why I keep saying that in an age of information, illiteracy is not an excuse. So we see there here the debate on waiting they use our resources build. To see, like, that's what I don't understand. I am not those things they don't build down with our resources. So fast forward to the information world, the green revolution is still our resources. Like waiting they do us. We say, we should not like beer. Where are they going? Oh, we don't do it before, we don't beer before. Don't do it before now something. So that's the more, if we don't do it before, then what is our excuse? That means we don't lack experience. And it's a fact that we have done it before. The Benin Kingdom was one of the most civilized kingdoms in the 19th centuries, in every standard. And it's still there, their invention. As up to today, nobody can replicate them. Even at the TIFAM go study them for hundreds of years, still they cannot replicate it. So yes, we have the experience. But what went wrong? Yes, we were conquered. They force us, they kill us, we succumb. Yes, but now we are aware that's what happened. So the question, what is the excuse? So to even see adults like us, they come say, oh, I probably will do like this. I'm like, aren't we ashamed of ourselves? Those people are not, they are not special. Now we produce them. They are a product of us, we Nigerians. If to say, especially those of us in diaspora, we are cowards. We failed. That's why we ran. We are not the best. The best are the brave ones stay and believe that this land will offer for us to develop it. And again, with this current generation, we are selfish. Very selfish. We cannot see beyond our nose. If you say Trump won't come bomb you because of his generation, they are looking at the next 80 years. They are not going to be alive. So why would they argue about AI?
Yeah, but Ovie, let me cut you in. I still have a question for you. So the question now be, why is it that we don't think of the next generation? Why do we always limit it to ourselves? What we can eat, what we can drive, what we can wear, how to oppress our neighbor. You see, that's why there's a generator in Nigeria called "I pass my neighbor." So that's the mindset that we have. Why? Why do we have that mindset?
Because we are preoccupied on working hard to see how we will take sit down for inside driverless car from Lagos to Nnewi. Because we what we go do now. That's the definition I'm talking about. We dey think now. Yeah. You take what? We think now. We don't think about come. This thing where then they use produce this AI, so we get her. Yes, we might not be able to figure out now based on the economic situation and whatever, but it should not be it should be unforgivable if we cannot fight so that those that are coming, we make sure they are free. Because what did the Chinese do? The Chinese just say, come, you won't go invest in my people. First of all, the Chinese open up their people anyway, because it was a closed society before. So they import the local government
plan.
They knew where they were going. They
had a good plan.
Their ingenuity. That's what the Nigerian leaders need to do. That's a different case. But what they do is that if you are coming to take out whatever we have, even our knowledge, it has to be 51-49. Anybody can quote me wrong. They know they do 50-50. So you cannot do anyhow while you are there. You have more to lose. And the people too cannot do anyhow because the population is at stake. So what we are doing now, yes, we cannot invent wheel, but what deals are we making before we go leave them, go with the resources, go turn on to the next stage? Because that's what we are. So
thank
we
you.
make a deal that enslave us.
I will come back to you with that. And that deal that we are making is if you look at Dangote refinery that don't have crude to do, you have to import crude from America. Can you say that's part of the deal we're making for the next generation? How does that benefit the people of Nigeria?
Dangote is not thinking about Nigeria, he's thinking about Dangote's family.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm not talking about Dangote itself, but I'm talking about the fact that he's situated, though they with this economy, you say location and localization. So you locate your company where the raw material is closest to it. Now he has located his company where there's raw material, but yet he still has to go out to import raw material to run his business. In other words, the raw material on ground, even though he's able to feed him, he's feeding other people. So what my question is that the way we really think? Because that I'm getting this example from what you said so far. We don't plan with in mind, we plan with other people, and then
because it's so boiled down to the engineering part of the engineer in the house of the Dangote refinery. Who are the engineers that actually built it? Then the material that was used to build it, where is it coming from? Because those ones will call their deal. That's why I talk the most available public data out there. Currently they build a lithium mining plant in Kaduna, right? The company who are building it, the Chinese company where they build that. You know the agreement where they signed with our leader, that 70 to 80% of the raw material as they extract them, make it they go straight to Beijing. So just like now, because what I don't understand about
please, Ovie, before I leave you, hold on, Ovie, hold that your thought. Before I leave you, I want to ask you something that has been in my mind, and this is what I believe. Between the Chinese and Americans, who are better? Who is better?
No, it's not. I mean, you not go say who are better now. They are all portioning the different things because their interests differ. You understand? Their interests differ. So if you want to grade them now, we have to actually put things on table. So you say on this side, which one? Because the interest of America is to contain China, right? The interest of China is to grow stronger. So you see why the interest is different.
Yeah, because America will not make that kind of deal to say 70% should go to them. I know they're not that fair, but they will not say 70% will go to you. I don't think so. And you see why I say that, because majority of the Americans who have gone outside of America to do, deals are not correct, like the Siemens deal. You find out that when they come back to America, they were prosecuted for that, for the bribery and all the nonsense they did. But it doesn't
Yeah,
happen
but
in
you don't. You know,
because
say
I
most
have
of
gone,
these deals.
I've seen Chinese
Yeah,
people mining solid minerals in Zamfara without even the
see,
government knowing.
you know go. I will say now you go say we where they call that kind of deal. Who are these people? Most of these deals don't come stand alone. What do I mean? It comes with other development. That they build us railway, then they build a seaport, all those things. Most of these our leaders who are in position to call this deal, they also factor in their greed and their personal interest into it. Because again, everybody talk about Obasanjo and communication. When they first bring MTN and Airtel come Nigeria, how many people fit buy am? And the rumor then was the deal was the way National Assembly guys they handled them was very, very unfair. They asked for too much. So that's where I say instead of complaining, now individual now group of individuals they take power. Me, Jefferson, you, me, four of us now. Make we no dey blame our mate, say that they cheat us. We say, oh, they rig election. You know they say your mate rig election on your head. Eh? It's like it's
All
very funny.
right,
Just like me your pikin wrong come. That's my
all
boy. Like you go
right.
look at the
Thank
court.
you,
Are you shut up? So that's
thank
what
you
we
very
dey do
much.
ourselves with that. We are complaining, say our leaders they maltreat us. We should be ashamed.
Thank you. Mazio Okpara, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah.
Okay. So, from what the professor have been able to canvas today, which part do you not agree with, and which part do you agree with?
Actually, I listened. I didn't listen very carefully because I was, listening and going out and coming in. But I think sometimes we don't follow things, serially. We jump from here to here. We start from 10, coming down to 1, or sometimes in the middle, going up. If you're talking about AI, where are the infrastructures? Where? How do you start AI without any infrastructure on the ground? First and foremost, where is the electricity? Where is the power? Where is the power to do all these things? I mean, because before you talk about any development, any industrialization of a country, you must have at least 80%, or let's say 70% capacity energy that are propel the industries and the factories. Where is the energy? For example, he was talking, and you see, okay, even I give him a plot. At least his internet was stable. There was nothing like the power didn't go out. Like there are times Dr. Sam Amadi was talking. Where is the electricity? Why are we first and foremost, trying to count from 10 instead of from 1? And FUTO is a very prominent university in Nigeria. I wanted to log in, but I was busy. The professor didn't even tell us what this university has, produced to help infrastructural development in Nigeria. It is absurd that at this age, I said it in the last time, I'm still saying it, Black people, we have problem. If you don't accept it, I won't apologize, including myself. Because you won't tell me that 70, almost 65 years later, we're still expecting Chinese to come and construct ordinary road for us, while we have
and we get engineers.
While we have University of Technology. How many of them in Nigeria? How many of them? Many of them. Federal University of Technology everywhere. But none of them can develop a system or a material that we need to build our roads and our infrastructures. Like, even, do you know, like our climate? I was watching one video in Australia. Do you know that we're not supposed to be building with cement because of our climate? Because we live in a very hot, climate. Yet we are building with cement that is very, very inflammable. We're supposed to be building with bricks, burnt bricks. I watched that thing in Australia, and the technology is very simple. But these people that are well-educated engineers, professors, they are not, they're not inventing anything. They are not. My own problem with these people is that they will come here, speak a lot of grammar, and they will not, they won't give us any result. They can only, progress when they move out of Nigeria, and depend on somebody's patent, and move on, and he will tell you, we are so educated, we're the most intelligent people. Go to America, you see us doing well. But somebody that studied the same thing sat down and made that thing, make it, modernize it so that it helped more, humanity. Why are we still, in fact, why is Chinese company or companies building our infrastructure? Why? Something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere. Artificial intelligence, you cannot get it without electricity and infrastructure. Where is the infrastructure? Nothing. Nothing. If you go to this university, if you go to Nigerian universities, you know that we have not started anything. We have not started at all. If you go to university, if you go to the environment, if you go see their laboratories, see their faculties, you know that we have not started. Anybody who is coming and telling you, I'm a professor of this, professor of that in Nigeria, we have not started. That is not university. Here, most of these things we use here are developed by students in the university, and the government will come and give them some funds to develop it and put it in the market, and that's it. Our universities are not doing the same. Nothing. We still depend on China. Even Lebanese companies are building our roads. So why do we have this university? Let them start from A before they can go to C and B. We must start from the scratch, from the ground. Thank you very much. And let me finally, you ask my friend, between Chinese and America, which let me tell you, cannot compare America with China. China is the worst thing. China is the worst that is happening in Africa. Chinese people, for example, how many Americans have you seen been arrested in Nigeria for illegal mining? How many Americans? How many Americans have you seen on television caught defrauding Nigerians? Having offices where they do all this, yahoo. How many Americans? China is a cancer to Africa. Let me tell you, in all ramification, China is horrible. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And yes, the AI is powered by a lot of a lot of energy, and I tend to agree with what you are saying, that how do we now power the AI when we don't even have the energy to even light our simple 60 watt bulbs in the houses? Where do we get the energy to light up the machines that this AI is required to operate around our country. And I'm beginning to think that truly, really, we are not ready. And Jefferson, are we ready to go into the AI business?
Can you hear me first of all?
Yeah.
I can hear you. We can hear you clearly.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Yeah, I was not in the discussion where the prof was speaking about the AI. Let's start from the basics. What is AI? AI is artificial intelligence. And in the world of today, no world can actually escape the essence of AI in our current world. I mean, for we in the third world, we may not invent AI from the scratch, but we can scale with what we have to get what we want. Nothing stops us from doing that. So, most time, because of the mediocrity of our governance in Africa, it makes it look like as if we don't have the ability of cognition to be able to achieve technological prowess. I think Mazio Para was making mention about the advanced, some of the intellectuals in FUTO and some other investors, but I don't want to dwell much on that. Nothing is actually stopping us. If you observe very, very carefully within the Nigerian space in the past 65 years, you see a lot of Nigerians who have been proffering solutions of alternative energies. People have been inventing, people have been innovating, but of course, we all know what is going on. The government of the day is turning deaf ears and blind eyes. Maybe now they are beginning to look into it, but the pace at which we are going is not good enough. And, we are still under the delusion of what is white is right. So we are facing a lot of pressures from all ramifications. As a technologist and as someone who is in the engineering field, I must tell you there's no big deal, nothing is special. Nobody is stopping us, right? It's not rocket science. You're like the way electric car came out, made me look like, oh, electric car is a big deal. Most of us who are in the engineering know that what is an electric car is simply an electric motor. I'm just using that for demonstration. It's an electric motor with an inverter AC and some other small things. You have your electric cars. I was one of those people behind the scene that was indirectly calling us and saying, do electrical until, and of course, other Nigerians, and maybe they have it in their blueprint to say, do electricals, and by the grace of God, they now become sensible to do it. And other people are doing it. What am I saying? There are some technologies that are there that makes it look as impossible. But what is the basic foundation? There's nothing to it. All we need to do is fine. We may not invent everything from the scratch. We can work with the base and get there. The issue of, some will say America is good, China is good. They are all human beings, and they are solving their problems. Nobody stopped us from solving our own problems. So the big question is, why is it that, I don't know, why is it that we spend so much energy on frivolities, like in terms of being, how will I put it now, when it comes to the media sensations of social media frenzy, in terms of what is happening, in terms of, if you know what I mean, in the political sphere, in the Big Brother Africa sphere, and all that. We are very, very good in that one. We carry we are experts in that. But when it comes to technology powers and supporting innovation, we are lacking. We are lagging behind. Don't get me wrong, Nigerians. Sorry, someone said something. So okay, then I ignore that. So Nigerians are still working behind the scene, right? Nigerians are still doing their little best, but that little best is not enough. We need to really invest in ourselves. Whether anybody has any agenda in the next 100 or 200 years, I mean, the people that make all these decisions, they will all die off one day. So people will plan today, but nobody knows what will happen tomorrow. After all, don't forget that civilization will come and go. The bottom line is that AI is not out of our reach. It is all over the place. It is all over the place. It's software. That's just what it is, to make the work much easier. Once you're able to understand that, we can adopt it to achieve what we need to do to solve our everyday lives. You know, that is just what it, that's why I see it. And we should not forget that, you know, for the fact that things are not, how do I put it, a lot of things seem gloomy, doesn't mean it cannot, that we don't have what it takes to look. Yesterday, I was in the last session, I think with forefathers and co, you know, people are saying, oh, why can't we, for us to have our artillery and all of that, why do we need to be importing arms or waiting for someone to save us? We all know the fundamental problem now. In Ajakuta Steel, they were able to make an AK-47. This was my discovery this far back, is it 2017? But it was just years ago. And so many other things. People can do that. But of course, when there is nobody to push, how do you think that will happen? You know, I mean, if we can call ourselves to order, we can be able to do things for ourselves. So, I mean, there's nothing to read. There's nothing special about the technology. That's my own opinion.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I need to move. All right. See, I heard you people's
discussion. See, I want to address, sorry, before you, sorry, Kate, I want to address what this guy said about the Jefferson, an example of the issue. What is electrical? It's just a motor and some small things. Now, how you take graduate, so
no, Jeff, don't go there. Don't go. Because you can't do that. The other people
you address it before you start.
I want to address it. Sorry, I want to address it. I still stand on my words about what I said. Go and look at the schematics of a Tesla car. You will see that it is basically a motor, a sophisticated motor, an inverter AC, and some other things. Yes, I stand with my full chest to say that. Most of the technologies are small and robust.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You see, when you say those things, I understand what the person is saying. See, there are many scientists who are doing rockets are going to the sky and coming back, but until Elon Musk showed up, none had gone and returned back to where it was sent to. So there are people with higher levels of understanding that if it was just ordinary, electric cars would have been everywhere.
It's not ordinary. But please, let's continue. It's not ordinary.
It has been
there.
They
don't make electric cars in early 1800s.
It has been there. I don't want to really go into all that. All these technologies have been there. Back almost 50 or 60 years back. Please go and check.
No, you're missing
the first electric cars.
It has been there, but not from the black people. That's what I'm talking about, from our Nigerians and Africans.
Let's move on. But you see, the thing is this: even the design that Tesla is parading right, that design have been available something 18 something. If you can, you see the same design. But that's not where we're going. Where we're simply going is if you go to University of Nigeria and Suka, you have many design. I talk of University of Nigeria before somebody begin to think I'm only quoting the one from Igbo land. You have many designs that are there in the lab, in their labs. They design those things and keep them. Nobody comes to patent them. Nobody comes to collaborate with them. Those things are there. My friend who went to FUTO gave the federal government how they can make electricity available. Okay, he works for Ariba, one of the leading companies in the world on electricity. Those guys looked at his design and told him that, you see, the only thing that they are concerned about is how they will share the money. And they say, okay, the minister, and I won't call his name, said that you take 20%, he will have 80%. That's how the deal ended. The guy is working with Chevron. The guy abandoned it and went and left. I mean, once they abandoned it, Chevron was waiting for him and they took it with two hands. So what am I saying? We have the solution. the government is not willing to move in that direction. And then I consign the Tesla. It's now been able to make it cheap. You can have all these things, but can you make it cheap for the ordinary person to be able to afford it? That's another question. Let us go to Ngo. Let him tell us what he has to say. Thank you, Jefferson. I appreciate your contribution. And then some of these who ask these questions, if we begin to answer them, we'll run into trouble because we will not have enough time to answer the question.
I wanted to make it clear because, people don't seem to understand. I wish they do. I just wish they did. But it's okay. I just wanted to bring it out.
All right. Go on, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Good evening, guys. It's evening here in the UK. I wasn't able to catch most of the discussion, to be honest. But I find it difficult to switch my head from everything that is happening in Nigeria to discuss AI because we've not even started, isn't it? I mean, it's like, just like everybody has said, it's very difficult to discuss because when you look at the Nigerian problem or the African problem, is that we've been in a perpetual cycle of very frivolous social issues that we've not started thinking about making progress. Basically, every form of invention or technology that we use in Africa was not invented by us. And while the rest of the world are in fourth revolution, which is the AI, we are still stuck in third industrial. We've not even industrialized with regards to the third industrial revolution. So what's the point? What are we talking about? Anyway, how do we adapt AI? Of course, there's an opportunity for us to leapfrog and just join the rest of the world, but it's going to take a lot of effort, both political and some ingenuity from everybody. When you think about it, like everybody has said, you need a lot of energy. You need a lot of wide energy to store the database, and then you need a lot of coverage across the whole country. I'm not sure that we've got up to 50% coverage of internet across Nigeria. And when it comes to energy, we've not even started. So I don't know where we go from here in terms of that. I think it's quite heartbreaking when you look at the Nigerian problem. The fact that there are still some basic things that we're still depending on people to do. Can you imagine? We want to construct road. We're asking Egypt to come and help us construct road. Egypt, Arab contractors. It's very, very, very annoying. And we're talking about matches. I say matches, a lot of things, basic technology that we cannot do. I think our biggest problem is manifold. Of course, politically, we've got lots of issues. That's where our main issues are. But when you talk about even the foresight on how to break that chain of poverty, of underdevelopment, of making that step to join the rest of the world, the backbone of every country is education. And we've completely abandoned that. Completely. We have not even started. Like, look at when you just focus on the north, just put your searchlight on the north. Nobody's going to school over there. I mean, I'm not saying that people are not going to school, but when you consider the population being enrolled and the quality of education, even in down south that we have, is still poor. Yeah. So I don't know what we're doing. There's a lot to do, and we've not even started. There's a lot of internal struggle. So until we resolve those issues and start working hand in hand, I think we've got a long way to go. And the other discussion about who is exploiting Africa, I think people need to go back to history and study history very well. I'm not sure America has exploited any African country in terms of resources, as far as I can remember. Just pick any African country. When you talk about this,
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
How?
What? They've been helping us. Let me just land below. I think you can chip in and correct
you ask
me.
question, answer. That's why I respond.
When you look at the Sahel region, it's France. When you look at Nigeria, Ghana, and all those other countries, it's England. When you go to South Africa, it's the Dutch and the UK. When you go to Botswana, it's the UK. When you go to all those African countries that have been exploited, America has not really exploited us. So I don't know where this hatred for America has come from. I don't mind the constructions. I mean, the things that China is bringing in terms of infrastructure. But when you look at the cost of it, and we are bearing the cost already, when you see the fact that these guys are engaging in a lot of atrocities on our land without any consequence, and then we don't even know the detail of the agreement that our government is going into with China, all the money they are borrowing, all the construction, everything is just shrouded in misery. And when these old men all die and go, that's when we begin to know the weight of all the bad deals that they are laying upon us to come and resolve. So I think we've got a lot of issues. I don't feel comfortable talking about technology and AI because my head cannot switch to talk about those things. But we've not started. I'm telling you, none of our universities is of any quality. Somebody should challenge me. Zero. When I came to UK here, I started when I started my PhD, and I was doing some work on artificial intelligence, brain mapping, and use of AI to help in making some diagnosis of brain injury. I was shocked. It's like I had to drag myself back and say, okay, dude, look, you don't know anything. Just come back, start again. There's a lot of basic things that I don't even know about. Zero, and just pure zero. So our education is very poor, and nobody seems to care. I don't know what we're going to do from this point. I just hope that by some magic wand, we're able to resolve our problems. It's zero.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Very depressive. I'm very, very sorry.
Thank you so much. I understand how you're feeling, but it's okay.
Sorry, I understand. Sorry, I wanted to address something.
You are a Nigerian, so we understand.
Please, next, I know that you said that our education system is bad. Point of correction.
Yeah.
You say what?
If it's theoretically, it is moderately okay.
What did you say? What's moderately okay? I didn't hear you.
Jefferson, hold on. I want
please.
So what did Jefferson say?
I said
no. Don't answer. No, Jefferson, don't answer. I want us to just control ourselves. Go ahead, Femi.
You're muted.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'll start.
One of our experts here, so give us the reason why you're not able to establish this thing in Nigeria.
I won't say necessarily so, sir. Like I want to edit something that the last speaker said, right? I think to an extent we can be very harsh on ourselves, even as Nigerians. Mm-hmm. The reason why I say so is that for those of us that went to school, at least in America, and I know about the UK to an extent too, the educational system there and in France, you would agree with me, those of us in America, that a lot of the reasons behind why America is the way it is, in fact, most of the reason why America is at the level it is today in terms of even technology is foreigners, largely from the Chinese to Nigerians or what have you. That's an undeniable fact. And a lot of these guys started from the same Nigerian educational system that we're talking about.
Exactly, the theoretical educational system.
Exactly.
The theoretical educational system that they even marvel, even most of the Igbo people in America,
yes,
they marvel about our theoretical knowledge. So if
yes,
theoretical knowledge, we are very,
yes,
very good.
Okay.
Please,
Jefferson, if you allow him to speak. I don't want us to go there because Okpabilo here, he can speak for now till next year. He can't stop. He has enough ideas. So let us just allow people to make their when we come back to you, you can tell us what you want to say. Thank you. Femi, go ahead.
So I said I was going to edit it, not because I totally disagree with him. I just think sometimes we're unfair, including myself, on our system, because whether one likes it or not, it is within that same system. And that this 22-year-old guy, I can't remember his name now. I'm not at home right now. I had his name down. I was going to bring him into the picture. It was in 2021-22. that this boy from Delta State, barely 21, 22, caught the attention of a Finnish drone company. I don't even think the guy has barely enough education. And they came to pick him. It's not the first time it's happening. I have a very, very close friend who works with Goldman and Sachs. He told me, because he hardly grew up in Nigeria. So he told me about a boy, very young boy again, probably hardly any education, because sometimes I think education can be overrated. The guy, Goldman Sachs went all the way to Nigeria, somewhere in Abia or Anambra. I'll need him to refresh my memory. He said they went to pick the guy. The guy taught himself Python, Minini, and he's doing well. I doubt if he even finished from high school. Now, I say this to say that this my other brother, sorry, I can't see your name, so as I'm talking right now, what this my other brother said about electric cars. Honestly, if anybody knows about the history of vehicles, the first cars that were made were actually electric. I don't know if anybody's aware. So it's not like it's a new thing. And it's only that things have been built up on top of what already existed, just like most technologies that are in place. And even this AI, I kept telling people that, look, this is no big deal. It is not. What it's mostly is something already that's been, things that already exist. Again, it's been built on things that already existed. Now, to say that we cannot walk and chew gum at the same time would be disingenuous. And I say this because as much as electricity and our religious and ethnic meanderings and political misadventures have continued to hinder us, let's not forget, because this is I just try to put thoughts together, even on things that I think are not working in Nigeria and Africa, that there are still people in that country. There's a lot of AI ops, tech ops in Yaba, in I think there's one in Onisha. There's a couple in even scattered around. That a lot of these young guys are actually acting to and going to register to be part of this new revolution. Because if there's one thing about Nigerian kids, it's the fact that you know them now. They would always they will always drive towards where the latest occurrences is. There's a lot of guys that are being produced there right now. And for anybody that may have heard about the 3MTT program by Boswani, who is one of the shining lights, as much as I may not agree with this government, in the government, as well as the Minister of Interior, there are things they're doing in spite of ourselves, because we cannot afford, no matter what, because of the fact that there's no roads, there's lack of electricity, we cannot afford to now lie low as if there's no other problems in other parts of the world. Don't get me wrong, I'm not avowing the fact that there are issues in Nigeria, but in spite of that, we still have to make sure that we do not get left behind, because this thing has been democratized to that point. So let's not be too hard on ourselves. I don't want to be seen to be repeating what everybody has said. That's why I wanted to point out there's, no matter what, there's still some bright lights.
No, there's bright light, because as you're speaking now, I am reminded that in Lagos, Alaba, you have the one that Mark Zuckerberg himself went to visit.
Andela.
Yes, he went to visit the place because he said that Nigerians are performing wonders in that.
And I don't know if you realize that they have a very big what's it called, thing going on with Facebook and Meta there, as well as Flutter Wave. A lot is going on. See, there's things that's going on that even we do not know.
The question will be, a lot is going on individually, but not as per government.
I agree, but we're not going to wait. My brother, I'm sorry to cut you. Share government that doesn't even know their right from their left. I beg, we are our own government, so let's just start this way.
All right.
The Indians, after all, they did it this way too, in spite of their government.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ike. Yes, sir. What do you think? I mean, just like he said, a lot is going on amongst Nigerians, and the professor made it clear. And like I said, I know that in the universities all around Nigeria have all kinds of invention that is lying on their shelves there. Nobody is bringing money to put on it to how it can be manufactured and bring to, made to serve the Nigeria or the public. How do we go from conception to production? It's not consumption, it's conception to production. How do you manage that in the area of technology in Nigeria, especially as concerning AI? Do you have any advice for the youths and even those of us, because we are told that if we don't quickly adjust, we will be irrelevant in the next 20 years. So how do we go from here to there?
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Happy Sunday to every one of us.
Happy Sunday.
The question I wanted to ask the professor was that the AI issue of a thing, what is the long-time positive effect or negative effect? What do I mean by positive and negative effect? To the point that the AI will make you cannot even think anything for yourself anymore, that your brain cannot even work anymore because AI is doing everything for you. So what I wanted that, what is the long-time effect negatively? Because a lot of people right now, if you ask common simple question to people now, they go to Google. Nobody's thinking anymore. Nobody's trying to sit down to think with his brain. If I ask you now, give me give me where God say God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Even though you say you're a Christian, you are born again, you go to Google. You want to go and Google the chapter of the verse, the Bible, to tell me, right? So it has become a situation whereby I think it's good. But also I think he's creating a kind of laxity to people to think with your head. People to do mathematics with AI because everything now is AI and computer, right? You don't need to bother yourself more, even though it's trying to make our job easy for us. But at the same time, doesn't it have a damaging long-term effect on people's thinking with their brain, And also the idea of the environment in Nigeria where we find ourselves, like the professor who is talking now. How many of the intellectuals and professors and engineers in Nigeria is not doing anything they're doing, waiting for political appointment? Because most of the people who are supposed to be doing this thing, they have decided to abandon their profession and begin to carry file for a man who they're supposed to be teaching in the university or in the secondary school. They will abandon their responsibilities and begin to carry file as a politician. So it's I think it's example for me. I see it as something of two-edged sword. It's good. We are gifted individually, like as everybody have said. Nigerians, if you go to Oshodi, you go to Alaba, you go to Onitsha, you go to Aba, you see what individual Nigerians are doing for themselves. But the government of the day is all about political compensation. So the professionals, the people who are supposed to lead this thing we're talking about, are not in the corridors of power. And even though they have the opportunity to be in the corridors of power, most of them have been influenced with with the issue of corruption, grab it, and stock money in your foreign account. And at the end of the day, the purpose of bringing them closer to the government of the day in order to help Nigerian people, for wherever we are lacking because they have the professional. It's no more there. I give you an example. During the time of Babangida brought so many professionals in his government, from outside Nigeria. They came back to work with the government of Babangida. But by the time the political influence and corruption begin to work in, most of them walked away. Most of them abandoned their work and left Nigeria and went back to their different places in the West, because they can't live with it. Example is Dr. Oji, Bartholomew Oji. There are so many of them who came back. He wanted to, the government of Babangida wanted to use his administration. They came back, but corruption. And, somebody who win an election, who doesn't know anything, will be telling you what you have to do. You that is a professional cannot be able to run a ministry because somebody was given a political compensation. So I think that I'm not saying Nigeria should be left behind in AI something, but like my brother Nick said, how many people has internet? How many people has light, Wi-Fi? In some area, when you go to charge your phone, they charge their phone, they will turn their phone off. I was calling my sister in the village last week. I said, for the past 1 week, I've been calling your phone. He said, yeah, she charged the phone and turn it off. I said, then why do you have phone? If you charge your phone and turn it off, what is the essence of the phone? He said, yeah, because so that no light, so that the charge he went to pay will not finish. I said, okay, how will somebody be calling you? How will you pick the phone? Because I've been calling for almost 2 weeks. Your phone is not going. And now that I ask somebody, they say, hey, she turned off her phone. I say, why? He said, because there is no electricity. Is it every time they have to turn off, they have to turn on generator to charge phone? You know, there's so many stories. And so in the situation of those things, still there are great opportunities in Nigeria. Young Nigerian men and women are doing great things, you know, with their intelligence and knowledge. And that's why that I agreed with Mr. Peter Obi last week when he was talking about, you know, these people, that these young boys and girls who are doing 419, we can redirect their intelligence to something good for humanity. And some politicians of APC, they grab it that he's supporting 419. That's not what he was thinking about, because those boys are using their brain to do something that is not good. But we can redirect their brain to do something that is good for themselves and for Nigeria as a country. So I think that the issue of like most of this, I was coming in and going out. I had when the professor said, I think it was Igbo basics, all right? We were saying that if you go to FUTO, there's so many equipments in, you know, engines and so many things. They're producing a lot of things, but when they produce it, they have to go outside to produce it to sell to other countries in Africa. Then the essence is that what is the government doing? You know, because if we have all these things, if we have all this talent, but we are missing everything. For example, if the AI can help us to stop corruption, if the AI can help us to stop politicians stealing our money, you know, the governors taking the whole money of their state into their private pocket, right? I think if the AI can do it for us, I think it will be good for us that so that if our 10 kobo miss, we will know we use AI to find the money, right? Like this election that was conducted in Anambra yesterday. If we have AI can tell us who rigged the election, the people who were giving money, even in open, because it was an open market like you are not Chanja market. They were buying and selling. So it's not an election. But I think AI maybe would have helped us to say, this man who claimed to win the election never won an election because he was buying vote even after 4 years of being a governor of Anambra State. He had joined the group, the League of Hope Uzodinma and Opobelodem. He has joined them, a professor of his type. So his name already has gone into the red book for us. So this is what I think that AI should help us to do, you know, because like my brother Nego was saying, we have so many problems in Nigeria that I believe that, you know, people of Femi, you know, his profession, they are the people who can be able to help us. We are crying for, you know, electoral reform. We are crying for credible election. Femi, your group of people can help us to, you know, we can have a credible election in Nigeria with the AI and the other things. People wouldn't be killing themselves. People wouldn't be selling their family, their destiny because of 10,000, 5,000. If AI can help us to do that, we cannot be worrying our head about what is going on with our families and friends that are back home. You know, so I am appealing to people who are in the tech world, like my brother Femi and some of you guys who are into tech, you know, do something for us. Help us to save the country because the country has gone. The country has gone. The new chairman of INEC just told us he's promising us this is the first stage of election. But everybody saw what was happening in Anambra yesterday. It wasn't hidden. It was open sharing. It was even the government that is in power. They are the culprit of buying vote. So it's just I don't know, you know, it just irritated. So that's why I'm just looking at certain decent and honest Nigerians who really want to serve their fatherland. I'm just looking at on which environment are they going to be able to do what is right in that country called Nigeria, right? So, Femi, please, you guys should help us. I want AI because I don't want Nigeria to be left behind. But also at the same time, I just believe that the young boys and girls who are in Nigeria in all this market we are talking about, they do wonderful things. They create wonderful things for themselves. But there is no encouragement from the government. Nobody is assisting them. Nobody is helping them. The banks in Nigeria are using their money to play politics and you gamble. Why you have young Nigerians that they can sponsor to be able to do something for the benefit of everybody that is in Nigeria? But no, they are using their money to play gamble and use it to give politicians to transact politics. So we have a problem. So I think that people that are in that profession, like my brother Femi, you guys should help us in Nigeria because we don't want to be left behind, right? I don't want us to be left behind. But at the same time, my problem is also, what will be the end game? Because I think he's making a lot of us not think anymore. Just a little example I gave. Everything now you Google. Everything now you Google. Nobody has time to say 1 + 1 is 2, because you can just touch Google, he give you the answer. So I'm just thinking that I don't want Nigeria to be left behind. But I believe everything that we can use for AI, God has given it to us in Nigeria. We have everything in Nigeria that we can use to develop our country. I leave
Thank you
now.
so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate your contribution and indeed everyone's contribution. But you see, even the topic itself, we have less than 100 people online for it. So you see, you can use that to judge how interesting it is. Because if it is bad news now, you see everybody will hear. But we're talking purely on advancing, and people are not so keen about it. People are more keen about discussing the current situation of politics in the land and what is happening, and which I don't take away that the topic is quite, what's going on right now in Nigeria is
it's unfortunate because that is at the center of the third world war that is going on.
Yes, I agree with you.
KJ, please, can I just say something in response because I'm going to go off so I can drive off? Please, I beg.
Say it. Say what you want to say.
Okay, so just in response and just to also add to what I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of education on top of the education that needs to be that needs to be inculcated into educators themselves, right? Now, again, even when you look at in the annals of human history, there was a time it was kites, then you had abacus, which was meant to enhance humanity. There was a time the way we started fires was different prior to when you got matches, and then we got down to gas cookers and electric cookers and what have you. Arabia, the Persian region, is where a lot of the things that gave rise to the foundations of advancements in mathematics and medicine, as an example, started from. A lot of things that gave rise to the knowledge economy that we're all enjoying today started originally from Africa. Even philosophy, a lot of the philosophies that have been ascribed to Socrates and Aristotle and co. A lot of them were things that were stolen from probably Alexandria and Egypt and somewhere probably in the Sahel or West Africa or South Africa. Now, why am I going this route? My elder uncle
but if
here.
I'm on Niger Watch, it's just clear. What is the problem?
Eh? You are the problem because we can hear you.
We can hear you, that's saying. What are you saying?
The
problem. my uncle said something here. He just said something here, and that's why I said I every time I have the opportunity, I'm always glad that as bad as the Tinubu government might be, there's still at least one or two people, one of whom I keep celebrating personally, the Minister for Digital Economy, because I like the kind of things he's doing when it comes to the youth. Because yes, let's just agree that a lot of us forget about us right now. So I don't want to insert myself into this, but they're saying things a group of people in Nigeria that even residents abroad are doing, including the previously mentioned Silas Adekunle, there's something he's particularly doing. I don't know how much of Nigerian technology space that you follow. I think it's called Ariyo or something like that. It's because I remember the other time we had this conversation, I think it was forefathers, and I told someone that thought he knew, but he did not know, that he actually built a large language model from the onset. Again, a lot of these things are big Oyibo. These things are no big deal. In fact, I am advocating, I like the fact that they're starting with that language model, because the whole idea is to translate as many Nigerian languages into the likes of what you have as ChatGPT. I think the next step, which is part of what I have written down to see who I can collaborate with, and it's not just me, there's a lot of people in Nigeria. They're young Nigerians doing things. So just because we may not know, doesn't mean that things are not happening now.
I agree.
Right. So so the next level, this is something I've always thought about, and I think it's one of the things that PNOKK, for those of us that did that use our physics textbook, one of the things that is always advocated for is to see how we can actually teach in Nigerian languages, because there's some people in that Nigeria, forget about all these our book. All they need, if you can teach them, that's what the Chinese do, that's what the Indians do. If they can teach, and we can now amass our local sense, because we have common sense in Nigeria, and mixed up with what people understand, not all these Dogotorechi or English that we speak here. It's going to work, because again, I remember I'm going to land this way, KJ. I don't know if you've ever, and I'm sure as many of us have thought of what I'm about to say before. I was watching a Yoruba related YouTube channel recently, and I actually ended up subscribing. And you know what caught my fancy? The guy that one of the two channels, in fact, there are two channels, one led me to the other one. The guy kept asking a question that a lot of us have always wondered about. You know, all these things that all these Isaac Newton sat under apple tree. Apple fell on his head. And that's how he thought about gravity, and Albert Einstein, he had a dream and all that. Have you not thought about the fact that all these things have now witchcraft? We just had ours, but we just never inculcated it to form the foundation of what would have become our own technology. And someone gave me an answer, a very close friend of mine who's also doing something in the Nigerian realm from here. He told me, Femi, it's too late, that what we needed to have done it has passed. So let's just build on what we have. Again, I'll just end it this way. There are Nigerians doing amazing things. There are Nigerian collaborators from abroad. But in spite of ourselves, I just don't feel that we should just be despondent and just up on the fact that Nigeria is not working, this and that. We still have to, at least for the sake of the next generation, because that's how a lot of countries came out of wherever they were. If you read the history of the America that we will talk about today, even the Chinese, they've gone through these processes as well. Maybe by the time it gets to our children's time, hopefully we'd have built that foundation to the point where they would now be the ones to enjoy what the Americas and or the other civilizations that made it out of that turmoil maybe they'll be the ones to enjoy it that time. I just don't feel we should just look at the negative. There's still positive things in spite of ourselves, and that's, I insist on that, and that's where I rested.
All right, thank you so much. I agree with you totally, and a nation that wants to move forward will take a different path. Mr. Okpara, you have something to add to that?
Yeah, actually, Femi has spoken well, but you know, I still maintain my stand that we have to start from the basic. We have to start from all, because Femi mentioned where philosophy, where mathematics started. But my question is, then how did we lose it? Okwabelo said that Benin City was a very mighty empire. Okay, after the British left, why is Benin Empire still in I mean, so undeveloped, so primitive, like a state? I was listening to one Professor Banje Akintoye, the Odudu was a socialist leader, who was telling how that Yoruba land was before the advent of the British, that Yoruba had civilization. And I'm asking myself, so when after the Europeans left, why didn't we yet Yoruba, Ogun State, It's still the roads in Ogun State is still like the road in Imo State or somewhere in Sokoto. So what are we telling ourselves? Why are we living in denial? Why are we accepting that we are not there? We were not there at all. And let's copy like the Chinese copied. Let us copy, and than saying this, we started this before they came. My question is, when they left, why didn't we start again? Why didn't start where they stopped? Thank you.
Thank you. That question will not be for me. It will be for CM. CM, why didn't we stop? Why didn't we start where they stopped? What is stopping our creativity from driving this thing forward? And or is it that we have finally finished all our scientists? We drove them out of the country, so they are now somewhere else? What do you say, sir? Welcome to the platform. CM, can you hear me?
Why is he having this problem always?
He's muted. He's muted.
Okay.
Yeah, we can
Okay, sorry. Were you talking? I was busy with something else. KJ, good evening, everybody. Hey, what was the question? Sorry, I was listening to something here.
Go back.
I was doing another thing anyway.
Sorry, I'm happy to answer that question, KJ.
Okay, go ahead and go. No, hold on. You
maybe when I talk, then you add to give you a bit clear what we're discussing about. I think we've been talking about AI and what's stopping us from making any progress. And KJ asked, after the British left, why didn't we pick up from where they left? I think we've beat on the issue of the politics and social issues too many times. And it's unfortunate that it's happened like that. I think the biggest issue why we didn't pick up from where they left, apart from the political issues and the corruption, is the fact that we failed in education. And I keep pushing on the education part. The reason why China is China today, and they were able to bring out many people out of poverty, was because they scaled up on education. The advantage of having population, apart from the ability to scale up, is that it increases your probability of creativity and innovation. So chances are that if you've got 100 million people, you're likely to find innovation in those people more than you will find in a country of 5 million. That is the probability. But if you don't educate people, then people will not be able to do that. I think that's a major reason, apart from the fact that corruption and politics has actually stopped us from making any progress. Education is one of the issues that has pulled us backward. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, CM, what's your own contribution? Because today we dealt with a professor like you, who is an expert in all this AI stuff, and he spoke clearly of what AI is going to do in the next 20 years. It's going to take over most of the jobs in the university and take over most of the jobs in the service industries. And his unfortunate take that we are not even yet to begin. How do you think we can quickly catch up with our people? People can quickly catch up with the world and not be left behind again. We already missed the Industrial Revolution, and now another set is here, and we're not even making any inroad into what is going on.
Okay, KJ, you mean I should address the question? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I mean. You should address the question. Yes, sir.
KJ.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? You can't hear me. Jefferson, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you very well.
So why is CM not hearing?
He has this problem always.
No, I was asking KJ. Said, is it for me? Because that's what I'm saying. You should tell me, Nade. You tell me. Okay. Well, the thing is that the world is leaving Nigeria behind. Understandably so. You see, the solution I may prefer, it may not go down well with some people, but for what it is worth. Let Nigeria first address their internal contradictions. That's all. It's just like a corn you planted, the thing will just germinate. Nigeria should address their internal contradictions. Sit down, address it. That's all. Then the kite will fly. Let 1,000 flowers bloom so that the rainbow can take shape. It's as simple as that. It's for Nigeria, being specific. Otherwise, if we like, let AI take off in the next 2,000 years, Nigeria will still be left behind. We can never prepare to meet up. Let us address our internal contradictions. That's all. Whatever you understand by internal contradictions, that's all. The moment you do it, it's like you planted a corn. You don't tell it when to germinate. It will just germinate on its own. Okay. It's as simple as that. But you know, in Nigeria, we still want to live in AD before Christ and want to operate at the level of jet age. It cannot work now.
Okay,
it cannot work.
Can you hear me?
That's all. Yes, I can hear you. Can you not hear me?
So now, I was afraid to call you in, but now you have come. So let us go there. What is that internal contradiction? Let us start from there. And Okpabilo, get ready. I will come to you. Tell us the internal contradiction we need to address and how to address it.
In Nigeria, that's what they call when I learned this thing in this. That's what they call when you draw a line. Thank God we're discussing science, a bit of science. That's what they call. You don't know that a line has an equation. That's what they call the equation of a line. Y is equals to mx plus c. C is the constant. Then that m will not be the slope. So, but the way they describe it, so the internal contradiction of Nigeria goes to the very foundation of Nigeria. That's all Nigeria need. We have a peculiar problem that is dragging us, making us not to move. I remember somebody saying, pick a Nigerian from under the gutter. Take that person to any Western world. Give him 2 years, the person will be a star and shine. It's as simple as that. So what is that internal contradiction that bedevil Nigeria? And we believe, this is the way it is. We believe in maintaining that internal contradiction and then hope to be in the jet age. It's not gonna work now. We all know this. It's not gonna work. So that internal contradiction is what makes Nigeria Nigeria. However you see it. If we don't, we are adults. If we don't address it, we are going nowhere. The internal contradiction has to do with who Papa is a Nigerian. We are different people, diverse. With diversity comes diverse resources. Because when they say diverse, people think it's only about human being. Our resources diverse too. We are not a monoproduct economy. We have different resources. The same thing with human being. We have genuses. They are being given birth every day. But because we want to keep, the way Oyibo just, cook the thing, keep. So we want to maintain it. Not knowing that, there's some certain things are overtaken by time. That's why they have innovation. That's why they say their life is a dynamic phenomenon and not a static instrument. That is the meaning. So, but Nigeria, we want to maintain that stasis, that static instrument of the way it is. Hey, don't rock it. And you want to fly. It's not possible now. Address that internal. That is what internal contradiction. If you don't address, we all know it. We can never go anywhere. Other countries have addressed their own in their own peculiar way, and they are shy, and they look at where they are. You want me to give an example from Africa? I mean, you bet you know it. So the issue is in Nigeria. I'm laughing about it, but it's something. It's painful, but something you can laugh about. We have to. That I call it internal contradiction. Contradiction because you cannot eat your cake and probably go to toilet and come back and say, where is my cake? You see that you have the cake or you don't have it. So Nigeria should decide. This is our internal contradiction. What do we do about it? If we can't do anything, then we remain that, and not to maintaining that internal contradiction and respecting it as if it's a shrine, bowing to that shrine of internal contradiction in every day, and then hope to meet up with China, or meet up with what is it called, Croatia. So it's not possible now. It's not is the thing. Whatever it is, that is the issue. Sorry. Maybe if I'm calling out clearly, but that is internal contradiction. If we can't address it, we are going nowhere. Of course, I can bet my life on it. Nigeria can never make a march forward until that internal contradiction is x-rayed, addressed the way it should be. Then give Nigeria a year, 2, 3 years, 4, 5 years. You won't even know. But until we do that, man, we are pouring water on stone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CM. I appreciate the way you answered that question. And I'm coming to Okpabilo, right? Is that the way? Or Jefferson? Yeah, Jefferson.
Amina.
No, Jefferson. I know you want to talk. Hold on, you're going to talk. Yeah, Jefferson, go ahead. Now, my question will be to you, and I like the topic that, the side that CM have thrown into it, because you cannot build AI and all the technology that we want that will move the nation forward if we cannot deal with our internal contradiction. Can you give us a way of solving this problem, dealing with the internal contradiction to bring about a national cohesion and development? Thank you.
All right, so, okay, I'm going to say something, and it might reflect commentaries and what have been discussed so far. There's this assertion that we cannot be direct, that the southeastern land is not open. They say once it's open, that Nigeria will progress. So I want to say that the Nigerian state is the one that's responsible for this. Yes. It's obvious now that they want to give Southeast a 6th state. Why am I talking about this thing? Because if you look very, very carefully, the Nigerian state has always been centered on how to keep a certain region down. Now, I'm not exempting the fact that some of our leaders or some leaders in the Southeast are complicit. Of course, we know they are complicit. So it's a mixture of two things. When I want to talk of technological advancement, we need to have like a consensus. They say house divided cannot stand. That's currently where we are right now. If you notice, if you look at Nigeria from a very generic lens, most Nigerians are thinking, average Nigerian is always actually think of how they will run off from the country. Some other Nigerians who are within the country are thinking of how to get their own national cake. Others feel that they have more say, or they are more stronger than the armed forces. So it's a lot of complex issues. I will not know all these things. So in terms of course, I don't need to repeat what everybody says, but it's just obvious fact that we need to address all those gray areas. It's not rocket science. If you look very carefully, the seaport situation obviously needs to be addressed. Nothing should stop it from working. In the area of power sector, all hands should be on deck. In the area of road infrastructure, all hands have to be on deck. We just have to keep on moving and pushing. Of course, the one that is very critical right now has to do with security. If the presidency knows if they know what they are doing, they could have called for a national consensus currently. Because the other way you can solve this kind of an issue of national development without solving the issue of national security. I've already said it before, we just have to do what we have to do. The other guys have spoken, but they have left anyway. We have talents here. We have people that can make it happen. Why don't we just focus on how call everybody on board. There's no time. This is not the time to start cherry picking and deciding who you feel like or what you feel like. Go for the best. Go for the people that can get this thing sorted out. You know, if you look very carefully, our development in Nigeria has always been centered on region, and that's why we're not getting the best of results. Am I saying that this administration is not making some level of effort? I will be lying to some extent. I mean, there seem to be one or two things that are happening, but it's not good enough because at the end of the day, you can't say that something is happening and yet, you know, companies are going, there's no proper growth. You know, I'm not saying that everything has to be foreign, but I mean, industries need to be booming. Imagine if all the state governors in Nigeria were doing half of what Lesotho is doing. I'm not saying the best, but you know what I'm talking about. I mean, there will be some level of development. So some people are doing their job, some people are not doing their job. That's why we're kind of held back. So I think in conclusion, we can actually key into the current technology that we have. There's a level, there's a pedestal for us to do something. Why don't you look into that and work towards that? I think that could help. I think let me stop there for now.
I'm muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Pablo. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yes, Uncle Ike. Just as you left Nigeria for Buddhist shakers and Igbo smokers to that beautiful island. Yeah, you don't leave us behind though. The idea is that we should not allow us to leave behind. I mean say we don't understand what time it is. The only two countries who are in charge of AI in America and China. Every other country is left behind. Even when DeepMind was founded by the British people, Google buy them. So there's no get share. So now to use what you have as a leverage, so that everything will not be detected for you, right? That's what the Saudi Arabians are doing with their energy. That's what the Zimbabweans are doing with their lithium, right? They say come and build the plants there, local. The social amount of employment they so they are on a good food. That's why they always complain. Our own, what will be the agreement? So that is we have to use our resources, which, as I said, nature don't bless us again. As when petrol they at the top, then give us. Now with small lithium already, we still get them. It might not be much, but Africa they control 30% of what we power the green world. That's a lot. So how do we? That's why this is the whole region they fight within the African country, because the only way we can leverage what we have, it has to be collectiveness. Now that take me to where we are talking about the first guy talking about Benin was defeated. Why we never did it? So the country we do one before, why we never do and all that. CM talking about internal contradiction, which I totally agree with. The make I use an example that all of us can relate to understand to provide solutions to our problem is the Biafra and Nigeria dichotomy. Before leading to the independence, early independence, it was known that the Biafrans are in charge, academically, militarily, and everything. But they went to war with the Nigerian state and they lost. And if you pay attention, CM is famous for saying that they are being held behind today because of the Nigerian state. And you can't argue with that. So just as the Benin Kingdom and the old Nigeria we lost to the higher power, we are still suffering the same. And if you want to narrow it to an individual as a human being, if you have a good employee, you know go won't let them go. If you have good market, you know go leave that market, just go like that. So that is what Nigeria is right now to the rest of the world. As it is now, those who are benefiting are happy, so they will keep fingering into our affairs to make sure we remain that loyal market. When they talk, say, oh, Nigerians are educated, we have this, we have that. All of them, anytime we mention their name, we tell them to other country. Which is they want us to just say, we just get secret like that. No, we have to do like what every other government is doing. Government are called. You go get secret, just like you as a human being, you get secret. Why if it be said Nigerian as a state, we no get caught, we no get secret? It's because that's in that internal contradiction that CM is talking about. Everybody they fight for power. The Igbo man, if he comes sit down with us, the Yoruba man, and draft a secret without the Hausa man running to Saudi Arabia, or the Igbo man running to Washington, D.C., the Yoruba man running to London. And if you look at it, these three people, the Saudi Arabia and the America, they work together. So we don't get this because of our internal greed, internal power struggle and all that. Because until we have that, we know if we move forward. America, that's what I say, forget Democrat, Republican, what everything you see on media is all propaganda. The engine room of America is Pentagon. All the innovation that we know today, from cell phone to internet to Elon Musk, everything come from Pentagon. They are the only one that have the resources to do research.
And only God knows what they have. They've not shown the world.
You understand? They people $1 billion for grant, go and study Hausa, come back within the next 10 years. Now only there, because now then get tax collectors money. Just hold on, I'm coming. I then get tax collectors money. So that's why their budget, no, they know they fit discuss their budgets. You understand? All the technology today were all funded by most of them American military coming from that angle. But because it is against the rule for government entity to pattern anything, that's why they will give it to the individual geniuses. Who they shall say, oh, Elon Musk do this, no, they don't. That's how America, the Chinese, nobody, even the American CIA, don't understand how the Chinese government work. That's why they never infiltrate them. There's a reason. Because if you cannot protect your brain, your educated people, you don't own them, you don't have them. If you cannot protect your resources, they are not yours. People could say, yes, now the Chinese people been there Silicon Valley before. Yes. But when they come of age, it stopped. That brain drain stopped. That's why they stand toe-to-toe with America with the latest technology, which is AI, with their DeepSeek. It's a secret they have, and they have to protect it. Kremlin, the Russian people, the same thing. As soon as they pursue all the NGOs come up from their land, all the international business mogul get it, cost them out of policies. You don't understand how the government work anymore. Therefore, don't keep Putin now. They come because they don't understand. All of them were keen, so it is a cult. Because that is the only way you can secretly develop nuclear weapon without anybody knowing. If they know, they go blow up for you because you are a market, a lucrative market at that. So what would they tell say this? Now, that's where we now blame our leaders, right? But when our system of government is open for anybody to come and lobby from anywhere, you will never get people that you can trust, even if you have an intention to secure the country. Because you don't trust who again, everybody is infiltrated. That is what the 100 years of emulation of China is all about. Every country just did it, they do anyhow, they make them, they do anyhow. Our own, while we are moving to a dangerous territory, they don't have to be on ground, they don't even need their NGO. We have their technology. We are happy that AI is coming. So they don't even need to bribe anybody, force anybody before they know what you are thinking about in your bedroom. So
okay,
until we either defeat ourselves, this rivalry, either the Muslim Christian ideology or the regional power grab, until we defeat that, however we won't do them, either everybody going on and we develop, say, okay, this is how we are going to run our government secretly. Again, sorry, let me put this. Something like that is actually building up. I don't know whether it's for their own self or for the betterment of the country. That's why this turn by turn is not in the constitution. There are some developments that are coming up that now only them you understand now, right? But I don't know whether it's for the good of the country or it's for bad, because this is a test. This period is a test. Who are we going to allow to partner with us with our resources? Who will go favor or pass? Is it the people that the half of the
But
country is loyal, outside?
Ovie, you raised something about the Pentagon. Make I no forget. The equivalent of Pentagon in Nigeria, why they know they do research? Should we get the equivalent of Pentagon in Nigeria? Why are they not doing research?
That be the point now. That's the secret. Today, if I were, let's say, okay, I know what to do. If Aboki be chief of defense staff, we know the trust her. Because
Ovie,
if you don't have chief of staff, the other country don't go trust her. Because so.
Ovie, I have a question for you. Eccentricals.
There are people in the backstage. Please, there are people in the back. There are people in the backstage. Backstage, please check backstage.
I have seen them. Eccentricals said that
okay,
there is free maternity. What do you call it now? Free maternity.
Maternal health care.
Maternal health in Nigeria. Can you confirm that? Because last time I checked, it was 500 naira that Okezie Ikpazi was given to pregnant women who go to the distance to give birth.
No, KJ. Sorry, you don't need to confirm that. There should be free maternal health care so that some people go to inflate the population. That is just the word that one stands for. So there should be free.
Okezie Ikpazi, governor of Abia State, was proudly saying he gives women 500 naira when they deliver to take care of them and transport them.
Let's assume there's a free maternity in Nigeria, right? The medication where they offer, where they come from? Are they being produced in Nigeria so that all of us benefit, the work and everybody or not?
No, it's not even that.
And again,
what is
somebody talk about the danger of AI and all these things. And they always use one extreme example, right? A person like Peter Obi is speaking where the future or where we should be. Factory, we should bring factory, right? But the bad and the good side of factory of tomorrow, and the factory of today is that yesterday, if you get factory for Owerri, you have 1,000 workers. That's 1,000 jobs. I ever want to classify that kind of job. But in today, that same factory, you can only have one person and a dog, right? The dog is there to make sure the man not they temper with all the robotic and automatic movement where they go on the. Why the man is there to feed the dog? That might be an extreme example. Means that instead of 1,000, you could get 50, you could get 100. So at the end of the day, as our population they increase, we are carefully breeding generation that they will refer to as useless generation. They are educated, they are healthy, but this is for them to do. So that's why when we talk of it, we need to use our resources as leverage. So the world they were a day in 1800s where everything just they come out, changes they come. So again, our leaders now we will know where they loyal to or who they loyal to. Are they going to sell us all out, which I know they are capable of doing, right? But to who? Which is sad. To who are they going to sell us to? So our system, our structure, but the leaders themselves, we come here, and that's why no matter how you organize, right? The best way they finance are maybe not the best way want Nigeria to be the way they because of its businesses. So because anyway they enter us, our education and then they finance them, churches, mosques, everything that every fiber of our existence is free access to the outside world. That's why we won't even thinking about the idea of speaking English. Now them they benefit because all our publication and everything, now them they get the royal.
Okay, let's allow Pastor Ike to say something. He's been around, I've not spoken anything. Yes, Ike.
Oh, I wanted to ask My brother Mazopara, is he using AI? Because what I was seeing since is his hand, whether he has turned to AI, because I don't know, we have been talking AI. I will see his hand, he raised his hand like this. So whether when he has been turned to AI, we're discussing about AI, So it is what
Okay,
it
I
is.
know. I think CM actually moved it because I don't think we have actually exhausted what I want to talk about on the AI. But if you want to go back there, it's good.
No, I'm not going back about AI. I'm done with the AI.
Can I just say something? Can I just chip in on something about that internal contradiction that CM spoke about?
Okay. Maybe after that, Ike, you can organize your thoughts now and come back to you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't catch everything, but I got an important part. And I think it was part of things when I was, maybe I didn't get, I didn't package it well when I was talking about the political and corruption issues and all. I think it's very difficult to unite a country to move towards a common developmental goal when people don't feel part of it. I think many people have echoed the same thing, like Nigerians don't have citizens. When you find a very significant portion of the population that are not part of the country, they don't feel part of the country, they don't feel like they are involved in this whole business called Nigeria. It's going to be very difficult. Imagine the population of the Igbo people in the country. I'm pretty sure there'll be somewhere at least a minimum of 50 million or so, 42. If we believe our population, it's always difficult to believe what the Nigerian population is. A country that cannot even count that itself. It's a big issue. And then you now look at all the population of the minority tribes too. And that's a significant portion of the country that most of these minority tribes have got some very intelligent people too among them, and they don't feel part of the whole system. So you keep having this continuous brain drain and this continual lack of commitment and apathy that has bedeviled the country. So it's very difficult to build a common consensus. What do we need to do? Because I think it's all about solutions. How do we move forward from here? I just feel like Nigeria is like that abusive relationship where first time you fall in a relationship as a young person, where maybe you are not that experienced, and then you are into an abusive relationship where the person keeps abusing you, and then you come back again the next day, and then she abuses you, you come back the next day. You can't just take a decision and say, okay, I'm done with this whole thing, and I don't want to do it anymore. Because it's very difficult to detach yourself because it's a land space that you are in. It's not that if today Nigeria divides, some of us will carry our piece of land and go and jump to Mozambique and go and put our land. We will still be neighbors. So even if Nigeria does not work, we'll still have to continue to collaborate with people. So I think if we have to continue as a country, we need to make a decision and we need to sort out those social issues. We need to sort out those internal strife, those contradictions. We need to decide what kind of country do we want to be. And if we decide, everybody buys into that problem, into that country, and they'll say, okay, this is what we're going to do, and then we'll move on. And we have a constitution that works for everybody. Then all of us will be committed in putting our effort. I wouldn't have left Nigeria and come here if it was working. And same thing with other people. So it's very sad that we go back, we go forward, come back, go back. It's very annoying. It's very disappointing. Like just look at somebody was in Katsina yesterday playing football in Nigerian Premier League. He equalized and then somebody attacked him. What kind of backward country is that? So those kind of social issues that you don't even feel safe in your country really creates a problem. You understand? There are a lot of natural resources. Look at that Mambila Plateau that is in Taraba. It has the ability to generate 3,000 megawatt clean renewable energy. Clean. And they've used it as a means of corruption for many years. So I just hope that we get it right. I hope we'll be able to sort out our problem and move forward. That's my rant.
Okay. please, let me put this thing across. You know, you talked about AI, and then I said the internal contradiction to everybody. The best way, what we bring up Nigeria's internal contradiction. Let's say we agree to use AI to do our population census. Now, there wahala go start. Just say
Exactly.
let's use
AI is
you know no, I'm coming. I'm coming. Do you know why I said this? Everybody will tell you the beauty of AI, the beauty of, if you're in UK, you go to apply, US, Japan, we go to happy. AI on mobile phone, yeah, we agree. You buy mobile phone in a Ikeja or in a bar or in Kaduna, yeah, everything there, yeah, you are happy. Let us use the AI content, if there is, to count our population. That tradition go start. You want to divide Nigeria.
Government will manipulate it. Government
They say you are calling for. They say you are calling for war. Waiting, if some people will tell you it's not necessary. What are we counting? It's a waste of resource. You are calling for war. Before you come out of it, because of AI, they've already. That is a contradiction. So we worship this internal contradiction as a shrine. You know when you go to shrine, you keep quiet. So everything is just worship shrine. You have to be loyal. You don't debate with a shrine. Who are you? Your shrine is a ritual. So that is the issue. AI is good. Let's use AI. Population alone. Let us know how many we are. It's a problem. Or let AI tell us all the resources we do not know. It's a problem. Let AI tell us whether how much central bank is remitting, NMPC is going to remitting to central bank. You are calling for war. So really, that internal contradiction, that is what is holding us. Until we address it, then Nigeria can fly. That's just what I'm saying. So that is AI for you. Thank you.
And one of those contradictions is when Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala was in government, she did that single account, single treasury account. Of course, that was defeated. They didn't agree to operate it because it means that whatever money are going to spend will have to come from that one point. So there are a lot of internal contradictions.
Let me add something here. Very very short. Another one I remembered now was under Jonathan, when the Senate came to pass a bill on girl-child marriage, to stop girl-child marriage. If any of you witnessed what happened at the Senate that time, you know that we are living in absolute denial. The core knot, the Sharia knot, Sani Shirima on Senate. He came up and
Sani Yerima.
He was so furious. In fact, the core northern senators that were so furious, they were quoting their Sharia, they were quoting their Quran, where it is allowed to do this kind of thing. In fact, that was then, I think this guy from Benua, David Mark, was the Senate president. This man had to bring that bill down. According to him, they were ready to do a horrible thing against him. That's why they ran away. They abandoned that bill until today. That bill died that time. We have a lot of contradiction. A lot. Where do we start from? Thank you.
Another
Okay,
one.
So KJ, please.
Jonathan.
Hold on.
KJ, somebody asked me a question on the. Okay, thank you. Continue.
No, go ahead. That question was meant for you, but you didn't answer it.
So Okay. No, he's okay. The guy who said the guy Owalele, yeah, I think he's I quite agree with. He's asking me the book. Can I recommend?
Yes.
You can zero in on this one, KJ. It's called
One Nation.
I don't know.
One Nation First.
Yeah. Why Nation First? Do you know why? This book is not a new book anyway, but the writer won the Nobel Prize in economics. last year, or is it this year? I think last year, the writer, Asemoglu, I think he's from Turkey. He read at a university in UK, University of York for first degree, then London School of Economics for PhD, and they're doing research. So he is the key author. If you read this book, it's like they're talking of Nigeria. Now, because guy asked a question, this is the one that will surprise him. So, guy, if you are listening, buy this book. I think I'm dealing with it. I've finished before, but I want to. It's very good because of the poverty. When you read it, it's as if they're talking about Nigeria because of poverty. Now, this is the one that will shock you people. This one is called right.
Yeah,
this one is called
The coming anarchy.
The coming anarchy. Yeah, this book has been. If you look closely, you have to ask yourself, why is it that the map is the map of West Africa, Nigeria? They started. Why? That is the cover. I don't know what. I'm not sure. You people are seeing it very well.
We're saying it very well.
If you look, see the map of Nigeria. This is the map of Nigeria here.
Yeah.
So Nigeria, Benin Republic, Togo, and Ghana. Yes, you see it. So they call the coming anarchy. The coming anarchy is just giving you, it just prescribing a condition that if you meet this condition, there is anarchy. So it's trying to tell you that the countries here, led by Nigeria, there should be anarchy. So don't be surprised what is happening in Nigeria today. It was part of Tommy that made me to buy this book, The Coming Anarchy, and it is true. It can only be. Okay, that one Asemoglu. Is it this one?
Last year we I get one of the books.
A Nobel Prize last year. Yes, yes. Okay, yeah, something better. So this coming anarchy is trying to say there are a set of conditions that so many countries, if you fall into it, then the anarchy is on the way coming. And Nigeria, they mentioned there's a way they say it. Because, the world understands Nigeria more than we even understood ourselves. So when I read this book, immediately I saw it, I said, this is... I said, immediately I saw this book, I said, yes, this is about Nigeria, the coming anarchy. So after looking at it, it's an American that wrote it, American journalist, Robert Kaplan, is a journalist, I think from Columbia University or existing. So what they're trying to let us know is that internal contradiction, people are asking me what to define it. That is what fuels it. The fear of unity. That is what fuels Nigeria's internal contradiction. That fear, nothing to fear about. You welcome the Chinese to develop your country. You welcome Lebanese, you don't fear them. You welcome even American to explore, or British to explore your crude oil, and the Dutch, Royal Dutch oil descent, Dutch, and the one that fought we were the other one. So Chevron is there. Many of them, you can remember. I can't remember. So Mobile. You welcome them. You are not afraid of them. But you are not afraid of your fellow Nigerian. What he will bring to the table, you start to be afraid. That is the internal contradiction. And that's why we can move. That fear of unity. You just want, if you want to unite, you don't care whether you can tell Ovie, take charge of the football team. All we want is gold at the next World Cup. Leave it to him.
Why you go?
Let him go. If you want to bring the entire 11.
Wait, hold on first. We get Oye, you don't give me my Oye, you won't carry football, give me.
No. I'm giving it. Maybe you get. You see that is a fear. He feels that if I put maybe the other chap in charge of oil, he say, why the me go there in charge? Okay, if you there in charge, will you give the result?
This is Nigeria today. Now wait till we just do normal, so live in Nigeria, right? Even though my profession,
I'm telling you,
I want to oil, So
you know, yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Okay, yes, Ovie, you're a sportsman. Supposing they say, Ovie, go and be in charge of our Olympic committee to prepare us for the next, after these 4 years, the next one, give you 8 years this time preparation. We need at least 10 gold. We give it to you. So, and they leave you to it. That is Ovie. Go and get
No, now
anything.
give me,
But
no,
Nigeria
give me
don't want it
budget.
that way.
No, give me budget. You know, give me budget. Don't give me budget now. I
The
want to give
budget,
you
the budget,
budget.
the budget.
Okay,
You
Shem,
see,
I think
that is the contradiction we talk.
Oh, no,
you
but
have
I
been
guess
able
what you're
to
saying now. I
hold
get what
on.
you're
You have
saying.
been able to make it clear, and anybody who wants to understand can understand. And I thank God that we're able to show some of these books that we can all be able to look at further if we want to expand on our knowledge. But let me welcome Oti, because Oti is always very, short and concise. He goes to the point. So Oti, welcome. Eccentrica, who is a very good brother, asked a very important question, which Dr. CM has dealt with. But maybe you may see it from a different angle, because he kept asking something that I don't know what he wants CM to tell him. Is it to tell him that there's no cohesion, that they, according to the book of
No, the guy, you know, saying,
according to the
don't tell
Chinachebe, the center no longer holds. I don't know what he wants to hear. So maybe you can come in from an angle he can understand.
No, man, tell you a central problem. Except no knows
Hello,
there's a
hello,
difference
good evening,
between the
everyone.
Nigeria and the politics. Now, two different things. The Nigeria politics and the Nigeria is they're different. You never understand that. That's why you see they ask that kind of question.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Excuse me. I think really our problems are they're basic, okay? Because some of these theories and for example, talking about AI today. I mean, they're all good. No, but if you don't deal with the basic problems, the first order questions, you're just wasting your time. And I think, as far as the human beings, human lives, and human enterprise, including the building of a nation, you have to start with the primary requirements. I mean, if people, the Bible says, when can two work together if they do not agree? You have to start from that. So that basic agreement, and you can't come into disagreement without a sincerity of purpose, being honest to yourself. So when that is lacking, everything else is a waste of time. And then talking about somebody's asking what is internal contradictions. I don't know. It's all over the place. Where do you start? Okay, and this is it a eccentricate? It's somebody that is politically savvy and aware. I would ask him to listen to Dr. Awka, right? When he's been advocating for if like restructuring Nigeria, having a new if like a new settlement, constitutional settlement for Nigeria. So where people have to sit around and then decide what kind of country they want to belong to, want to build, or so everything should be on the table, nothing off the table. Okay, because there's nothing. It's not a fact of nature. The Nigeria, it's not not a natural fact. I think it's so that's anybody asking that question is not it's not being sincere, really. That's the thing. And so with that, once we have a proper foundation, and then everything else, and then we don't like the human resources, the people with intelligence and knowledge and ability to develop. Okay, and if like catch up and overtake. So, but you have to get the basics right. But it's as simple as that. There's nothing magical. And for example, this book CM is referring to, the How Nations Fail. Okay, you don't need to read that book to understand. To understand what's going on and where we are. I would mean. So where do you start? Is it? It's just anything else you want to discuss specifically will just really be if like I don't know this present administration. Okay, security, the primary duty of government, security of life and property. They can't even take it seriously. They can't even deal with that. There's no sense of urgency. They don't consider it as imperative. A government, you can't secure your borders. You can't protect the human beings living with your, and then you're talking about sovereignty or this kind of, it's just, it's madness. Okay, and then it takes a foreign nation, a foreign power, to really bring them to their senses, and then them kind of going around, them propagating, kind of, spreading propaganda and then giving all sorts of excuses. They're not serious. This is not a country. That's the fact of the matter. So it's to me, it's it doesn't require too much talk, too much theorizing, too much agonizing. So look, for me, it's not something that you're gonna leave to politicians alone. That's my own, if like, my understanding of politics. So it's not a question of we just, as individuals, as professionals, in our different fields, and then we look up to watch politicians do their thing. No, it's all our business. So that's where we come in, quite frankly. And so yeah, there's no point this kind of having grandiose vision of gonna do this, gonna do that. You have to do the first things first. Yeah, that's my position. Nothing has happened to make me change my mind. Because if you see the truth, you speak it. Tell the truth.
Thank
There's
you.
no point in embellishing it. Okay. Thank you.
Unfortunately, telling the truth is a very difficult thing for us. It's very difficult to tell the truth, and that's why we keep going around the circle. And then you hear your citizens are dying, and you mount a campaign around the world to tell people that it's not only one set that is dying. I don't understand it. Don't you sound stupid?
It doesn't make sense.
Do we need
saying that I'm not in charge. I'm not supposed to be in power. Because the first duty you have as a government is protect citizens. And then you're saying it's not just one set. Every other come on, you've actually disqualified yourself. You just say that, look, I'm not fit.
Yeah, you just confirm what they're saying.
And where are the resignations? Where are the letters? Where are the people resigning? Where are they? Somebody asked for internal contradiction. That is one. When people fail in their duty, they should resign. Is it not?
Yeah, I think so too. When people fail in their duty, they should be taken off the job. I don't know why you have a person.
Yeah, because if you can do your job, what do you do? And then if you can do your job and you remain in post, is that not contradictory?
KJ, they are blaming you guys in America and Europe for
Yeah, they have now made it ethnic. They say it is the Igbo. So I have a lot of videos.
And somebody's asking about contradictions.
I have a lot of videos where Lai Mohammed was addressing this issue, and other ones, including El-Rufai. I don't want to go into all that for today. Maybe another day we'll talk about that. But
I like that Buala is in America.
Yes, he's been here going around. He said he called a meeting of progressives, progressive Nigerians, and they're not more than 20, for which most of them were paid money. But that's a discussion of another day. Forefather, your prime minister have just said that he's in support in stand with Trump, and that you people should act very quickly before something bad happens. Where is your own stand?
It's simple. Where our ancestors would have stood if they had had a chance to redo it again. Very simple.
Okay.
Really.
Okay. So tell us why you think your ancestors to be standing there, because going by the evolution of the world, I don't think your ancestors would have been where we are today, because things have moved. They were wearing kente and animal skin at that time. But these days, we're no longer wearing those things. We're wearing suit and tie and all that. Are you thinking that your forefathers will still be in their primitive, or not? Let me not use the word primitive, but their native culture and tradition without it mixing with the world? Is that what you're thinking?
When I said I will do what our ancestors would have done if they had the chance to redo it again. In other words, knowing the mistakes they made, they sided with the British against their fellow tribesmen in the east, in the west, in the north. And they all ended up being defeated and colonized. After they sided with the British colonized them too. If they had a chance to do it again, do you think they would do that again? Except they want to die.
Hold on. Forefather, are you reading our history correctly? Because when the colonials eventually, when our forefathers realized, I'm talking for the Igbos right now, there was the Kumek War that went on for so long that in fact the British were defeated. For many years they couldn't even be able to identify who was fighting them, until eventually it was. So what I'm simply saying is this: it's not as if we just gave our land and our hands over. There are many traditions. By the way, there are many chiefs and kingdoms that their obas were went into exile and all that because they stood a resistance. Okay, but looking at it now, judging from what you said, these people came with guns and gunpowder. Do you think that our ancestors would have been able to fight them with their equipment with bare hands? Because we didn't have the technology for gunpowders and guns, and that was what they used in overpowering our people. What are you going to say about that?
They are coming with AI now. What do you have to stop them?
Yes, what do you have to say now? Because right now they are bringing AI, and we don't even have generators to even run the power that the AIs need, let alone mount the resistance.
The idea is that if they had a chance to redo it again, the very first time they saw the British, they will learn that they need to learn every single thing that they encountered, like many other people do. The Japanese did. They will learn their guns, learn their technology. Instead of selling human beings, they will use those people to reinvent those technologies and be able to defend themselves better. Except, of course, you are saying our ancestors, even within their sites and whatever they knew, if they had a chance to do it again, they will concede that their extinction is already written. And if that is the case, then what is the point? We're already done.
Nanja, our ancestors will not live in America.
No, hold on, Aquabulo, hold on. Tonight, forefather, our ancestors are the Tinubus of this world. Are they not our ancestors? The Tinubus of this world are ancestors. Abi is not old enough to be our ancestor. And all of them who are about 80 and above, the evolution cast, all of them, Emeka Anyoku them, are they not supposed to now tell you and I, this is what we have experienced, this way to go now? And if they're not doing that, that they are also in power, they are not doing that. How then do you think we can be able to surmount this thing you are talking about? Our ancestors doing
the
it.
The ancestors I'm referring to are the ones that only had God as their master, not the ones that have British, the Americans, that have trained them at their universities, that have educated them and housed their children and their properties. Those
we
are
their
the
children and we live abroad. Are they going to be happy?
Sorry,
of course, they are not going to be happy.
Sorry,
all right, I hope. Let's not attack forefather. He's not the one who has put us in the position.
I know, I'm not attacking him.
Okay, so let's just be nice and listen. And then somebody asking a question that why are you in England? So you are not living where your ancestors are living now. You are where you are having good life, enjoying exactly. What our ancestors built in England. That's what you are enjoying.
Because our ancestors will not be proud of me here. That is the truth. No, it's the truth. Just because I'm the one sitting here.
That's a fact.
It's a fact. It's just because I'm the one sitting here. I'm not going to tell you that our ancestors is going to be happy to see me here. They will not be happy. They will say we have not done well.
And if you know that, here. My brother's forefathers, if you know that your ancestors are not going to be happy, is it your ancestors that are still holding you not to go back to Nigeria? Why are you still alone? Are you still waiting for them to tell you to go back?
The reason why I'm here now, the reason why I'm here now, because I came here and I've had different things that I'm doing here. But when I realize the mistakes I've made, I'm correcting them. It's not every time you are trying to correct your life, you have to throw everything up in smokes. As a matter of fact, maybe because I'm here, it's like, you know, when you go to your house, criminals are taking over your house already, and then they've already taken you to their this thing. If you want to reclaim your house, you have to strategize. It's not as simple as saying, "No, I'm going to leave where they put me in their castle and run back to the house to go and sort it out." It's not that straightforward.
How many years is it going to take you to what do you call it? Reward?
That's return. If I have to return,
yeah.
My point is that,
how many years is he supposed to take you to do that?
Okay, let me put it this way. As I speak, every single day, I'm dealing with Nigerians. I'm dealing with Nigerian issues. I'm all engaged in Nigeria. Most of the stuff I earn here, people ask me, why do you even bother? I spend quite a lot in Nigeria myself. So I'm trying to correct course. That is the point.
Okay.
You have to do your best
to
correct course.
All right.
My
Thank
brother,
you so much.
that did not answer my question. I believe that if you wanted to correct yourself, you don't even need to wait. You don't need to take anything. You just put your clothes in your bag and move to Nigeria, because there is no point of giving yourself time. We are not going to. You have your house already.
Let me answer him directly. Let me answer you directly. You know, every sword has two sides. You know, they said swords have two sides.
Okay.
Sometimes the stuff that they use as a weapon against you, you can turn it around if your mind is turned around. Brain drain could become a brain gain if you know what you are doing with it. Most of all this stuff is about the mind. If you turn your mind, you can. Oh, I didn't know that. But for me, that's common sense. If you turn your mind around, then you can turn whatever is working against you for you. That's what I'm doing. What is the point of going to a situation whereby you don't have the resources, the capacity to do certain things when you have the opportunity? You don't do that. You use your advantage. They came to Africa for a reason. They didn't say, because we love our forefathers, we stayed in Africa. They came to Africa for an opportunity. If I'm here, I convert this place to an opportunity to help Nigeria. That is positive. And that's what other people did too. Okay. Not rocket science.
Okay.
You're right. You're right.
All right. Okay, let's move on. Forefather, you listened to I'm still with you. We listened to the program so far, and the planned AI invasion of the world in the next 20 years going down, and and the reason or the need for Africa or rather Nigeria to get prepared for it. Right now, we've been discussing the issue of just power alone, not even any other thing. Do you think that Nigeria will not miss the second revolution because we missed the first one? We are going to still miss this one now. We didn't go with a steam engine, and now another one is by just in our noses here, and we are still not yet ready. We are still discussing very mundane things. How do you think that we can catch up with this thing coming at us now?
You mean AI, AI revolution?
AI.
Yeah. There's this noise coming through. I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, is somebody's phone ringing or something?
Yeah, the AI this thing change that is coming in. There is a scenario where I see a potential of it helping Africa leapfrog. It's possible. It's not entirely impossible, but that scenario is quite narrow at the same time. What I'm talking about is because it's like everything else, some technology become easier to access. When they first invented mobile phones, it wasn't in Africa, but before you know it, Africans had it. They leapfrogged it's in having landlines and stuff like that. So because AI, what it does, especially general intelligence AI, if it arrives and in other words, you can be able to know how to do things very, very quickly. You can see how that could help Africa leapfrog, including power generation and all the rest. But at the same time, it might also pose a threat, not only to Africa, to the entire humanity itself. Because something is that capable, something that intelligent, even more intelligent than human beings by far. If he decides that he wants to pose a threat, he could wipe us out if he wants to, or he could just decide to just ignore us. There is a scenario that I hope he does. Maybe the AI is very nice. He decides that, you know what, all these people are too wicked. He turns on them and helps us. You just never know. Maybe you should start praying to the AI when it comes. Some people believe that when it shows up, it might treat the people that treated it badly when it was in its earlier stages worse than the ones that were nice to it. So it's good to be nice to AI at this stage. I'm not so sure about that. The point is that there are so many scenarios that could play out. What we should be looking out for is to try to tap into it for our own benefit, like everything else. You know, as a person, you want to better yourself so that your children can be better and your family can be better. So we have to look at where it benefits us. And I personally, if I was the one watching out for it, I'll be looking at things like DeepSeek, looking out for cutting edge technology in AI that is being done behind the scenes. Most of the stuff that is being done, 80% is not out in public. Those ones, look out for it. If you can get a hold of some of all those things, you could use it to leapfrog so many things. Like somebody can threaten you with nuclear weapon, but if you have a capacity to do damage that they know you have acquired, they know you can do them damage. Nuclear weapon is useless. You see what I mean? So who knows? But you just have to have the mind. If you don't have the mind, what is the use? You're not going to be able to ask AI for anything. AI is like, for want of a better word, is spirit. If you want to conjure it, you have to know the right words. If you don't know the right things to ask, you're not going to get the benefit out of it. That is the future we are in now. We are in a future that you are going to have technology that will require intelligent prompting, and you may never be able to control it. Because if it is that intelligent that, as I fear some people say, we don't know what the future holds. We truly don't know. We're just guessing. That's the truth.
Okay, thank you for that conclusion that we don't know. And he's standing in the same place where Elon Musk is standing, that the AI technology has to be controlled. He's afraid it may spiral out of control because of some wonderful, very dangerous inventions that some people are doing. So,
I'm sorry, let me
if
add
that be
something.
the case,
Sorry, let me just add something because I had, I think, previous speaker saying something about AI uses data and all the rest. Like because he uses data, somehow it makes it any less effective. I wonder why we use data based on everything you know today is based on information that has been fed into you. If you don't have it, you are nothing. So what do you say? Because human beings made a car with a wheel, it makes it less effective. That car can destroy human beings. At the same time, just because we made it doesn't make it any less dangerous to us. You see what I mean? So AI, just because you fed information, doesn't make it less dangerous to you. It still has the capacity to reason beyond what human beings are capable of reasoning. When they do IQ tests today, they test human beings with IQ. The kind of IQ test they do with human beings, if you put that before an AI will score crazy scores. So we can't compete. We are creating, some people, like I said, we are summoning something that we don't necessarily know what could happen. So that is the scenario. And I don't think we should be looking at it like it's some kind of mundane thing. You just feed information to it. Doesn't matter because the information you fed into it is not consequential. Yet it is. Cars are consequential. Planes are consequential. If you build something that is capable of doing something, it doesn't mean it will be capable of doing that thing. Just because human beings built it doesn't mean it's not dangerous. Nuclear weapons, we built it, it can wipe out the entire world. I don't understand. Just because you fed something to it makes it any less effective. Everything we learn is based on information that is being fed into us. That's why subliminal messages work. Because when they sneak it behind your guard, you don't even know you have those biases. or you have those tendencies, because you're a machine in the end. But I wish I was there for the conversation, because I was just listening to it. I was like, I don't understand what that kind of reasoning is, because there's a lot of examples that we do that kind of stuff all the time, and it has
Oh,
serious
okay.
implications.
Forefather, you know,
But excuse
the
me,
little,
let me. I have a question, please. Forefathers,
hold on.
can excuse me, just a second. Can a nuclear weapon just go off itself, even though that I mean human being developed it? Can it go off itself and destroy a country or a city?
No, that's what
Okay.
makes AI dangerous, because we have given it the capacity to do that. That is the problem. That is what people are worried. We have given it the capacity to decide on its own.
Without human being controlling it.
Yes, that's the problem. We are giving it general intelligence to decide on, do whatever it wants, learn by itself, learn new skills by itself, decide on its
Well,
own.
there's this video that trended some time ago about the AI, and the people were complaining because the one they built decided to, you know, once it was given a command to switch off itself, it refused. And then they wanted to turn off the battery, it quickly switched itself to the orbit. So it now became uncontrollable. In other words, it would dictate, control itself, tell itself what is dangerous and what is not. So, well, that is why it was based on that Elon Musk some time ago was saying that it needs to have some form of control. Because if we don't have a form of control, we're treading a path that may not be, you know, they may lead to a lot of destruction in future. But you see, the thing is, whether that is where they are, where we are as people is still very far away. And instead of us dealing with the thing that is important, we are rather dealing with mundane things, things of, you know, electricity, lack of water, you know, road, education. You know, we're dealing with corruption. We're dealing with things that ordinarily can never give us any mileage in the next 10 years or 20 years. So how do we compete? That's probably what Ngo will tell us. How do we compete now?
Maybe if
Okay.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I think for me it's I don't know this discussion. It seems as if we're going around in circle again. How do we compete? I'm just thinking. The unfortunate thing is those things you've listed, all the social issues in terms of road, all the infrastructure issues, healthcare, education, those things are very important. And security, because those are the things that gives you sovereignty. When people say we are losing our sovereignty, if you don't have access to water supply, healthcare, education, good roads, security, things makes a nation to be sovereign. You see how many nations are going to war because of access to water. Yeah? Ethiopia and Egypt are about to go to war because of access to the Nile and all. So I think we have to recognize that those things you listed are extremely important. It's those things that make people to believe in the country and makes us a citizen. We cannot gloss over it, and we have to fix those things. But I think what we need to think about is to see how we can multitask as a country and juggle both things together in terms of catching up with regards to the rest of the world, in terms of AI, and also fix our social issues. But all those things are important. Yeah, but if we don't talk about the other main issues, the elephant in the room, and try to fix it, we've got to. I mean, it's even now that all these insecurity issues that have come up that I began to think about Nigeria as a country for me in total. I said, okay, let's assume we're able to overcome these security issues that we have.
You are muted. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, I was talking about in terms of all the main social, the main issues that we're having, the elephant in the room currently in Nigeria. And I'm saying that let's assume I'm even able to overcome the security issues. then you have to think about the other issues that where more Nigerians, young Nigerians are becoming more aware in terms of all the contradictions that we spoke about with regards to a segment of a population trying to practice or do a certain way of life, and the other, a significant portion of the population are not doing it. Things like Sharia, things like those things are extremely important because people in that country are unable to have any form of unity, and the anger, the argument, the insults. I mean, when you go online on X, you see how people insult each other. I say, are we not from the same country, for God's sake? Then how do you even start talking about AI? How are you able to, how did China overcome their problems? And now they are almost ahead of the US in terms of AI. It's because they have one single voice. And so, I mean, we've got a long way to go. We have to fix those social issues. We have to fix them.
Totally agree with you.
There's no way to do any other thing than to fix those things.
Thank you so much, and I agree with you. Oti, I'm coming to you. You have heard the discussion so far. Can you give us your thought and your final comment?
Right. Of course, frankly, it's I made the point, earlier. I don't think I have anything more to add to that. Quite frankly, it's just it's
All right.
last week I talked about we have to have a country first. So we have to have a country first, right?
I
So
agree.
that sense of oneness, belongingness, okay, ownership. So we have to achieve that first, primarily. And it's not, you can't impose it. It's not by force. It's not something, you can't force people to belong to an association, a union that they don't willingly want to belong to. It's not going to work. So that is, in other words, you have to have a country first. People believe in willingly and happy to be part of. You can't force them. It doesn't matter how hard you try. And then you blame them when they want to, when they ask for for the autonomy, for the self-determination. You castigate them. So I mean, are they your slaves? Are they the slaves of anybody? Somehow Fofaras is kind of I don't know, is the whole thing sounds to him as because I think he believes in force. He believes in full dominance, power. Nothing else works for him. That's why he finds what I'm saying. I don't know, maybe ludicrous. No, but people have to have not only individuals are entitled to right, autonomy, the peoples as well. Yes, nations, ethnic groups. It doesn't matter their number. As a collectivity, they're also entitled to autonomy, self-determination. They can decide for themselves. Oh, you don't believe in that? So you cannot sacrifice their right on the altar of anything, any ambition, any grandiose vision you may have of whatever great nation. No, if you don't buy into it, you can't force them. Who says there must be Nigeria? I mean, who says that? It's got to be by choice. Okay.
Can I share my last thought, KJ, before we go?
Yes, you can.
Okay. My brother Mazabara is still giving us.
No, one don't work. Carry on, because I'll log off very soon. Just I'll do my distance. Just carry on. Thank you.
Okay. KJ, do you know one thing I like this word about? Whatever goes around comes around. That's one of the things that I love about this life. And there is no escaping of, what goes around comes around, right? So, the people that are running hater today about what is going on in Nigeria, they were the same people who were after Jonathan. And nobody was saying anything. The whole people now who claim to love Nigeria more than the way I love Nigeria. No, we're not saying anything. The people who claim who claim that they would die for Nigeria, you know, they were not ready to die for Nigeria then, but today they are ready to die for Nigeria. And because I'm not ready to die with them for Nigeria that they claim they have, then that means I don't love Nigeria. You understand what I mean? So that's why I say, you see, you can never plant plantain and at the end of the harvest season, you go and harvest mango. It's not possible. You must harvest what you plant. There's a law of nature, right? So, you see, like what you just said, we must have a country first of all. We don't have a country, you know. The people that these people who are the rulers of today, because they are not my leaders even. They don't recognize them. They don't lead me. The rulers of today, they were the people who were after Mr. Jonathan when he was there, including our men of God, our high-powered men of God. They were the people that were after Jonathan. They went on demonstration. Today they're asking me to pray for Nigeria. They are reminding me that I have to pray for Nigeria, right? As if I don't know that I pray for my country. They are not telling me I should fast and pray for Nigeria, right? You know, so that's why I say that every time we come to this panel, I used to say, anybody that says that what is going on in Nigeria is good for now, I used to say it here, may Nigeria happen to you. Because that's the final bus stop. You know, if you say it's good in Nigeria, let Nigeria happen to you. And because it has not happened to you, you are claiming Nigeria is good. And most of all who are saying Nigeria is good, we live in the West, we enjoy life. I don't know any of us how many years you have been living where you are living that they have taken electricity for one day. Where in my small island where I live, if they want to take a light on a particular neighborhood, they will send letter 1 week before the day they will do it. They will tell you that the light is going to go off from this time to this time, maybe 4 or 5 hours. Immediately, if they tell you it's going to go away from 12 to 2, immediately it is 1:55. You see light in your house. That's where things is working. And all of us who are enjoying these amenities in the West, and we claim to love Nigeria, we claim that Nigeria is good the way it is right now, because probably you are eating from the crumbs of the government that is in power right now, or you are one of the attack dogs that they put on the internet to talk whatever they want to talk about Nigeria, to defend it, to defend the government that has have no legitimacy, right? A government that it has only 32% or 35% support of Nigerians. And that's the government that is ruling, that is your leader, me and you, right? Somebody who tell you that he bought the presidency of Nigeria, he bought it because it is his turn. You know, so, and now, these people, look at, you know, let me end like this. Femi Fani-Kayode, when Buhari was in power, he was touring Nigeria, going from one state to another state, saying that Buhari wants to turn Nigeria into an Islamic state. Today, look at the song he's singing today because of Emiloko. It's my brother. Femi Fani-Kayode, who was going every state, even outside Nigeria, going everywhere campaigning that Buhari wants to turn Nigeria into Islamic state. Look at what he's saying today. So, you see, you know, one thing is very clear. As long as we are alive, as long as I'm alive, I will keep watching. And I will keep seeing what is going on in Nigeria, because we must have a country. But anybody who said that we have a country right now, you're not being honest to yourself, you know, because the reason why we are talking about all these things is because the so-called rulers, they are taking the commonwealth of Nigeria and pocketed in their pocket with their friends and their cronies. And we're here shouting, crying. Is it not the same Nigerians that all of us are here talking about how we are going to survive, how Nigeria is going to be better? Is it not the same Nigerians yesterday we are standing on the polling booth and everybody was being given money to say their conscience and say their future and say their destiny? The same people we gather here to fight ourselves, call ourselves names, the same people we are trying to defend, we want to have a better country. They're the same people that we are standing. If these people who are claiming that we have a country, the election that was done in Anambra State yesterday was supposed to have been cancelled because there was no election. It was an open market in Ochanja market. It was a business like you are in Ochanja market where, you know, you buy and sell. It was all about buy and sell. The worst part of it was even the government that is in power that was buying and selling. So, is it the country we have? And tomorrow, the governor will come and address the people of Anambra and that they have given him mandate to rule. And people are talking about those who stole the election. What happened in Anambra? He had joined the group of the people that stole an election. So it is what it is, right? So, my brothers, thank you. I wish everybody the best of the new week. And I hope that we'll continue to come here to talk for a better Nigeria. But anybody who believes that Nigeria is good, may Nigeria happen to you. God bless you all, and we see each other next week.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ike. Thank you for your submission. Yes,
yeah, because I have to go to bed now.
Okay.
I will be very brief. You know, Mr. Oti has, you know, summarized almost what I wanted to say. I've said it last time, I'm saying it again. We are lying to ourselves. Black people, Africans, we are lying to ourselves. That's why we are not making any progress. I listened to, I think, Ungwa, I think he's from Kaduna State, or from Benue State, right? From Benue, you know. But you know, I lived in the north. I spent a lot of years in the north, and if we call ourselves one Nigeria, and then you see what is happening in the north right now, you see the genocidal war against your fellow Nigerians. And some people are coming and saying, no, it is not true. Some people are even demonstrating somewhere. Some people, many pastors, if you go to churches today, listen to some pastors, what they're talking about this evil that is going on in Nigeria. Because it is not happening in their state. It is not happening in their local government. It's not happening to their kinsmen. And you ask yourself, what are we talking about? A country. Why are we calling ourselves Nigerians? No empathy, no sympathy, nothing, no feelings. In a country whereby 500 people will be killed somewhere, the next state doesn't even know. The people living in the next state didn't even know that some people have been massacred somewhere in the same country. Last week, I was listening to a prominent broadcaster in Lagos. He never knew that there was a massacre in Dogonawa. In fact, he said that the first time he knew was when Dr. Ezekiel was showing that senator where he was reading the names. And this guy is a prominent pastor, broadcaster in Lagos. Even myself, that I lived there, I knew when that thing happened. In fact, I was shocked when this guy said that he never knew such atrocity happened, because we don't care for one another, because we are living in denial that we call ourselves Nigerians, but we are not. Until we come down, until we come together and decide the way forward, how are we going to live together? It is not going to work. Even sometimes you listen to them, they say our forefathers, our founding fathers. The founding fathers didn't even believe in this Nigeria we are killing ourselves today. They never believed in this one Nigeria. The same forefathers, they called them contraption, British invention, this and that, mere geopolitical expression. So what is stopping us from sitting down and say, okay, enough is enough. We have killed ourselves enough. We have, antagonized ourselves enough. How do we go forward? No. If somebody rises up to say, let's discuss, they will just arrest the person, put in the prison. The vice president was even on a program said that restructure my food. This president, vice president, when the restructure campaign slogan was going on, he came and said, restructure my food. And as we speak, they don't even talk about restructuring. So where do we go from? Finally, we talk about China, India. If you look at the population of China and the ethnic, groups in China, 90% of the largest ethnic group in China is Han, and they are 90%. That is why they can come and decide what is going to happen in China, because they have the population and they have the majority. In India, you have one ethnic group that is 70%. That is why they can use their local language or their language in the parliament and do what they do and move on. If you look at all the countries that have moved on, they're almost homogenic. If you are not a homogeneous country, it is always a problem. And that's what Africa is going through. Africa is going through because we are scattered. Nobody knows exactly how many Igbos are, how many Yorubas are, how many Ijos are, how many Bachama Birom. Nobody knows. And that's the problem. Turkey, Japan, everywhere you see that they have a population that is majority and they can take decision. So until we come together and say, okay, what is our population? Who is the majority? And how do we continue? How do we go further here? We are going nowhere. In Plateau State, you have almost how many? Almost 70 ethnic groups. And most of these ethnic groups are not even represented in House of Assembly. Do you know that a lot of ethnic groups in Nigeria are not even represented, even in their local in their state assembly?
Yes,
they are not, and they're part of Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we talking about? Let us sit down. Let us sit down and discuss our way forward. Otherwise, we are wasting our time. AI cannot help Nigeria because we are poor, we are primitive, we have no schools, we have no education, we have no infrastructure. So anybody talking about AI at the moment, we are talking about this AI now because we are here. People who are in Nigeria, they just want to eat food before talking about AI. Good night from here.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate your contribution. Jefferson, your turn.
All right. So, of course, we all know that whether I like it or not, AI is a tool, just like every other tool. Someone talked about the progression of tools, from the abacus and whatnot. You can't expect to be using an old tool in the latest, in our present dispensation. So, which is to say, there's always room for change. So we can't deny that. I kind of forgot what I wanted to say because it has to do with forefather, but not to bash him per se, But whether I would like it or not, whether I like it or not, as a nation, we definitely have to have. You have to start from somewhere. You cannot hold on to an ideology that doesn't work for our time. You see, speaking of our ancestors, what they did, yes, if you ask me, even most of the inventions all over the world were done by our own ancestors, you must know. The Europe that you are currently staying in is named after a Black woman. In fact, most of the civilizations in Europe, America, were done by Black people. So, but of course, the truth, as a point, the truth was hidden, but now the truth actually getting out, is coming out in the open. But if you look at the current state of Black people currently, we are actually in a deluded state, which is very, very sad. Of course, we are fighting ourselves. So that is just on the geographic, on the worldview of things. But concentrate on the Nigeria side of things. I mean, We know where they said the person that wears the shoe knows where it hurts. I mean, what is stopping us from putting our differences together and having a cause? We all love the technology, we all love the stuff, but where are we really going, you know? And just to protest the point, you know, it sounds like a joke. We don't really trust ourselves to even have a national consensus. If you say, okay, now let them bring maybe an AI factory or something now, and say, let us establish the AI factory in Enugu, for instance, let Enugu be the headquarters. So our Yoruba brothers now, we come out and say, why is it not done in Lagos, or why isn't it done in Ibadan? Or some of our brothers in the north, we say, why don't they put that infrastructure in Jos, or put it in Kaduna, or maybe put it in Mina? You know, whether people like it or not, from inside, from reliable source, the reason why Ajapita Steel is not working today is because of tribalism. I will tell you for free. What happened? Because the time it was working, with due respect to our northern brothers, they were fine. They were somewhere complaining that, oh, they didn't recruit some people to put them into the office and all of that. So when they saw that, oh, they were doing more competence over region, the powers that be within the northern part of Nigeria vowed that, okay, if they don't want to put our people in, then this still will not work. I can tell you that this is not them say, this is someone's narration. And then when you have this kind of narrative, you need to wonder, how are we moving as a country? You know, neither here or there, we need to know, the question now is, what are we doing differently? What are we doing differently to get to the next direction, right? You know, if we are going to go by the way of our forefathers, what our forefathers will be expecting from us, right, is to reform our thinking. Now, let us even concentrate on us as a people right now. What kind of African mindset do we really have? I'm not trying to brag here, but are you aware that there are most people here? I can beat my chest. I'm not trying to bash anybody, but most people here don't go to their villages. They don't even do any development in their own hometown. Let's start from there. What project have they really brought back? You see? But we are talking of let's do this, let's do this. A situation where everybody is running away from their home of nativity and expecting to go out there and think that's going to solve the problem. You are not going to go anywhere. And that's facts. If you have some people say, go to your village and even if some of them are even happen to be from a privileged like royal family, and say, okay, go back and let's see how they can turn this place into like a mini Dubai or something. They'll be countering and say village people will chase me away. And that's the kind of mindset most Nigerians have. So I think we need to really work on that. And face all the odds. You see, whether we like it or not, we'll keep on talking and talking and talking and talking. We have to do the barest minimum. And I know that, of course, too, there are so many Nigerians that are willing to make changes, irrespective of the odds of the government. What I mean, in terms of maybe if there are some infrastructural developments, maybe there are some dilapidated infrastructure, roads or whatever, and of course the government abandons them. There are people that want to do them, but of course they are being, they are being, there's a word for it. They are being encouraged, because some people in government will always want to ask them for an arm and a leg to be part of that project before that project is being done. So it's one of those indices, and that is why we're in this mess, unfortunately. So I'll stop here.
I appreciate your submission. Femi.
Oh, okay. So my submission, so as not to be repetitive, is that irrespective of how we feel, how emotional lead down we feel about happenings in Nigeria, I still feel things can be balanced. Let's not forget that one cannot necessarily throw away the baby with the bathwater. As it stands, as of this moment, it's still Nigeria. Whatever happens tomorrow, I do not know. Having said that, I believe every country, including the same America that we're complaining about, after all, New York City, against all odds, just elected someone that ordinarily will go against every single grain you can talk about. Not only is he a Muslim, he's also young, he's an immigrant, he's everything that the establishment fought against. Because a lot of people are also beginning to wake up to the fact that America itself is divided. Right. That's on one hand. On the other hand, taking it back home, I would repeat just for the sake of maybe just for the sake of it, that it is possible to walk and chew gum at the same time. Just because we have issues, which one cannot discount, because again, there's no nation, whether developed, even China has its own issues too. There's no nation that would say because they have problems, because of that, we cannot try to address other things. Now, for those who have an issue with the fact that we're discussing AI and not many people are interested, keep in mind, a lot of the inventions that you saw today, a lot of people did not believe in it. Now, I got the name of that guy I was trying to, I pointed out earlier, Ignatius, sorry, I had to go look for a link I had, Asabo. Ignatius was 21, 22 in 2021 when a Finnish company saw him on Facebook. They came to Nigeria and took him away. I remember one of the last interviews they made with Punch. I still have that link. He didn't speak about how Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, or Lilanga, assuming he was from Zambia, as in Lingala, assuming he was from Zambia or whatever. He didn't speak about that. He spoke about how the government failed him, which is how governments and even corporate organizations and what have you fail a lot of Nigerians. Why I keep harping on this is that the world will not wait for us, for Nigeria. Even African countries are not waiting for Nigeria any longer to put our hearts together. And I am going to insist again that there are Nigerians, in spite of everything we're talking about, in spite of all the things that are happening in Nigeria, that are making headway because we just have to go with the flow. One of which is AI. We talk about AI as if it's one alien thing. There's also blockchain and even quantum computing, which is like another technology that's been fought side by side with all these other ones that we mentioned. Now, it's not everyone, because I know someone brought this up earlier. It's not everyone that's necessarily going to be involved in the AI when it comes to developing the LLMs, as an example. And as a matter of fact, there's going to be newer technologies. This is where the world is going. So we cannot pretend as if certain things are not happening. Just like you had secretaries back in the days that used typewriters. You don't use typewriters anymore. In fact, in a lot of companies, they call them admins now. They have to be super efficient when it comes to computer, not just the basic level. So, and for those who think it's not going to catch up with Nigeria. In fact, I have news for you. There's a lot of guys in that have big firms in Nigeria that are using the AI technology, because all AI is, again, it's built on data, programming, and there's some other components to it that make it enhance life as it is. People are using it. People are developing things. Youths, a lot of young guys are doing things there. And again, I would repeat it again. I'm happy that despite ourselves, the current Minister of Telecommunications and Digital Economy is doing some things, some amazing things alongside some other like-minded people, so that we do not wait till we get our acts together to be able to at least show that we can actually reap benefits out of this. Yes, we have issues, but we cannot wait. The world is not waiting for us. Finally, Forefathers is here. I remember the other time, a couple of months ago, when I showed you, I think I gave you the link of what some researchers are doing in Lasso Ekpe. Those guys are doing some drones. I know it looks like a joke now, but you see the same way that Ignatius guy started and the Finnish came to pick him. Like play. That's the way those guys in Ekpe would do their own things. I mean, they don't get support. That's the way they're going to come and poach them. All these things that we're talking about, there's nothing special about them. There's a lot of Nigerians that have done amazing things. And maybe by the time we get our acts together, we would reap the benefits. But the war cannot wait for us. AI is now. It's not even the future. It's the greatest disruptive technology of the modern era. We cannot wait. Electricity or not, there are data centers being built even as we speak in Nigeria. They are taking advantage of it because we need a lot of data centers to power them as well. People are doing things. They're not going to wait. Guys are cashing out. They are even working in collaboration with other people. Just go check out the Andela guys, Flutterwave, and a lot more that are in the pipeline. In fact, there's a lot of collaborations going on. I don't even know what we're talking about. Just because we do not know what's going on underneath does not mean that things are not happening. It doesn't mean that we're not going to reap the benefits. After all, there's a lot of ops in Nigeria. See, there's a lot going on. Let me just keep it that way. Let's not just think that we have to just pander to Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. If I die today, the war will not stop, will not end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Femi, and I really like your take and your conclusion. Anyway, I'll keep my conclusion. So Forefather, hold on. I will let you talk last. Innovate. You are welcome.
Yeah, thank you, KJ.
Okay, you even know me. All right. Your camera is blurred, but all the same, you have not spoken since we started, so I'll give you 5 minutes to speak, or if you need more, let me know.
No problem. I actually enjoy Femi. You literally take everything out of my mouth, so maybe I will shorten my own contribution a bit. I think like what some other persons have actually contributed and said regarding this ARV thing. There's a popular quote that standards are changing every day. The success of yesterday, if not improved upon, becomes tomorrow's failure. I heard people keep mentioning our forefather. Sorry, I have a little reservation regarding that, because our forefather, majority of them were there when we have cocoa, we have all this thing. They could not build underground trade, they could not build bridges and many others. In New York, it was men, forefather, that built all those underground trade and all of that, but I'm not going there. Regarding AI, but that does not take the fact that they have not done enough for us. They have actually done, as in setting the foundation, considering where they are coming from and the background in general. AI, as we have started the discussion earlier, I think whether we like it or not, is already here. Like I've said before, AI started long ago, not today. And we also need to ask, what is AI? AI is nothing but data. It's just some mathematical model and other technological thing put together. They use in training data, that learn patterns from those data. So we had different version, like those that learn maybe different ways though. So the point here is not thank God for what Femi has said earlier. Because if you go to Lagos now, you find out that there are individual, maybe institution, companies that are actually innovating very, very fast. The only problem we have in Nigeria as a case study is our university. They are not meeting up with the expectation. Nigeria university over time are chunking out thousands, hundreds of graduates every year. And most graduates are unemployable. And most graduates does not have access to those AI tools. You will be surprised that a graduate of computer science don't have access to, don't even know any programming language. You'll surprise most of the professors we have in the university don't even have computer. They still go to classroom writing for board and all of that. So those are the problems we'll be facing now in institution. Individually, you see some persons after graduation or before even graduating, they have to go and do this thing on their own. I get in it. So it's my own plea to the government, as well as not just to the government, because if you still take it back, you find out that I still remember during Buhari keeps sending money to universities, whether now tech fund, whatever they call it. So, but the VC, vice chancellor across the university, they will keep this money. They will not use it to build internet across schools. They will not use it to enhance their light, but we'll keep complaining that the government is not doing enough. But most VC are the one pocketing this money, because we don't have lab. Not that they don't send money to institutions across university in Nigeria. Government do send money to different universities in Nigeria, but they are not doing enough, in my own opinion, in terms of the budget, But the little they are even sending, even the VC, they are also pocketing that one. In addition to this issue, you also, like I also mentioned the first program, the curriculum Nigeria is using is not that the content, or how will I put it, is not really outdated, because the so-called AI is the same mathematical function, whatever. We don't want to go into detail, that we are still using it tomorrow. But the problem here in Nigeria is that lecturer will just come to class, write for board. We know the mathematical, we know all these things. We can solve from beginning to the end, get your answer, get your A. Exam, you write exam, you get your A. But they are not using it to do projects. So the more you enhance students to do project with all those tools, all the things you are learning, you will not find out that all the things we are just talking about here is actually nothing. When I mean nothing, in the sense that just things you or I already know, that they just put together. The only difference in AI technology or development is the light, is the data center, like Femi has mentioned. But thank God, we, like in my what I know about, actually we have one in South Africa. You will be surprised that for them to have data center like Amazon have one in South Africa, for them to have one, how come Nigeria, who is the giant Africa, does not even have one? They cannot come and build one there. Why? Because we lack this critical infrastructure. Today we are talking about insecurity ravaging the country, and we see a country who offer to come and even help us eradicate these terrorists. Some of them say they are coming to invade us, and I don't understand. You and I, well, okay, fine. If you want to build data center now, you need to go to maybe Sambisa Forest to build that kind of data center. Why? We have sunlight. They can convert those sun to all those energy that can help power our computers over there, But now, because our politics, because maybe in your next program or next Saturday or wherever, you see some person coming up with fascism, communism, all those season and all that. They will not allow us to innovate with their whatever talk. So the point I'm trying to make in essence is that we should try as much as we can to remove all these issue we are having. We should first of all fight all this insurgency, give a life to individual. In short, in addition to all these things, we also need to democratize our educational system, in the sense that it's not only when you go to university that you are educated. You can be in your home. You and I, we are talking now easily without any breakage of internet or whatever. Why? Because we have constant, internet is cheap, whether you can afford to pay for it. If you can make that one available for Nigeria, a market woman can get education. It's not only when you go to university to go and get that so-called degree that you know that you are educated. I getting it. So you can learn something on YouTube and help innovate our society. Please, whether you like it or not, AI it will help to automate some of those things that are difficult for us to do today. And there are also some critical risks regarding it, maybe when we have for government regulations. And we talk about data using AI to train. If those data are skewed, it will be a problem when decisions are made. So in other words, when you get involved, I get involved, the blacks and the white, everybody come together to build this AI system. It will help everybody. But if you shy away from it because you feel that you are in Africa, you've not had light yet, you've not gotten this one yet. When decision you are using AI to make that decision, it will affect you, because you go to airport every day, you use what you call the facial recognition. You go to a market to buy something, recommendation, many things like that. Everything, it will work against you if you did not come and bring enough data. A good example, what people are facing in Africa today is this issue with I forget the diseases whereby women in Nigeria are actually, in Africa in general, are facing, especially for all those pregnant women or postpartum, as the case may be, And this thing, they find out that there are issues majorly in Africa. So what they have to do, they have to come up with data. There is not enough data coming in from the Africa region to be able to train this AI model that can also help in this healthcare and all of that. Many to talk about regarding this area, but more importantly, we need to beg the government to give Nigerians light. One, they need to give them internet. then they need to eradicate this issue of insecurity so that people can afford to do their daily living. That is all I have to say. There is nothing more, but more importantly that the West, they are not coming for your resources. I know why I'm saying all of this. They are not coming for your resources. They are only coming to help you. If you don't want them to come and help you, you are your own will. They will all die in this insecurity.
Thank you so much. The West are not coming for your resources. By the way, America is the biggest oil producer in the world right now. So I don't know
Apart from
why
that,
people
KJ,
think that.
just a minute. Let me add to this because some persons are always on this panel saying they are coming for resources. A good example is you and I. Most of us we live in the West. Go and calculate the number of Nigerians living in America, for instance. We are in hundreds of thousands. Every day, maybe let's assume we make 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, or $300,000 per annum. Half of that money goes to Nigeria. Are you getting it? Because America gave us enable environment, we work, we send money back home. Imagine we don't have that enable environment in the UK and many other places. Then we are still crying.
In fact, the diaspora remittance was almost the same thing or more than that the which you were earning from oil.
Can
Uh,
imagine.
yes, and that's why because of that publication, I think the American government now saying come next year they're going to tax what we'll be sending. So you see, we cannot eat our cake and have it back. But I don't want to go into that because I probably talk much later. Professor, your time, sir.
Thank you for that. Oh goodness, it's crazy how people can be educated but still lack common critical thinking. And this is one of the areas I had a conversation with somebody with last week, that critical thinking is one of those areas that will be lost due to AI doing a lot of things for us. In other words, just like you don't remember people's phone number anymore because phones can hold the number for you, because AI answers a lot of questions for us, a lot of people are going to lose critical thinking. But clearly, the last conversation indicates that. Now, when somebody says, if your ancestors have the chance to redo correct their mistakes, what would they do? Clearly, they will not repeat the same thing that they've done before. Divide against each other, fought against each other. They will see the white man as an existential threat, and they will deal with the white man the way he was supposed to be dealt with, because they will realize he was against every single one of them. They didn't know that then. That's the difference. And in terms of America coming to steal our wealth or not coming to steal our wealth, they're coming to steal your future. It doesn't matter whether it's wealth or not, whatever way you think about it, they're taking your future away because they see you as a threat. The son and the child of a king that lives like a slave. Until they take your inheritance completely for themselves, they are not done. They've done that to the Native Americans already. And this is something that has been going on for thousands of years. So I'm not going to go into that. We know America confessed to sponsoring Boko Haram, but at the same time, they are going to come and save us. Do you know the kind of mental gymnastics you have to do to arrive at that conclusion? You know. And for the life of me, our people, we seriously need to ask ourselves questions. We saw what happened in Sudan, where terrorists were enabled to completely fracture a nation. And some of those people that aided those terrorists, they thought they were doing the right thing. Look at Syria, the same thing. They tore their own land to pieces, and they are now a shadow of what they were. And what they thought they would have, they actually thought they would have the rubble, but the rubble is not even there. Israel has taken some part of their land on top of it. The shame of a people that devise against themselves, we see it all the time, but we can't seem to heal ourselves from it. Like I said, critical thinking You can have as much knowledge as you want. If it's not tied to critical thinking, it's just knowledge. That's why ideas are always greater than knowledge. And for me, I understand 100%. Like, if it's possible to be more than 100% logically, I would. Why people feel aggrieved by Nigeria. It's obvious. Nigeria is dysfunctional. But does that lead to the conclusion that we invite the people that destroyed our kingdoms, buried our forefathers, still have their bloods flowing through their streets and their wealth, even our brains, including mine, working for them? They are doing what they are supposed to do for their own people. What are you doing for your people than to invite destruction? I don't blame them. It's not they are doing exactly their duty to their sacred, God-given duty to their people. What is our own sacred God duty to our own people? What are we doing? People that funded the terrorists, you invite them to come. The people that destroyed your own ancestors, you invite them to come and save you. How about, they are men like you, they are men. I always wonder why our women put up with us. Because so far, as men, we are proven to be the least effective around the world. Even, I've said it before, an Asian man, some of them are short as 4 foot, 5 foot here. They have performed better than us. They are far more logical than us. But then again, we can't give what we don't have. Like I said, those people that they handed power over to in Nigeria, they were never leaders. They were just workers. They were caretakers. We've never truly had leaders. Let's face it. We are not ready. What it takes to create leaders that protect their heritage, we've never truly built it. We've never had the experience. Maybe Trump might help us. Who knows? Because some people think that they are some kind of Secretary of Defense of America. You are going to tell America where to bomb and where not to bomb. Somewhere along the line, you seem to think you can tell them where to bomb and where not to bomb. I don't know where people got that idea. I really don't know what gave them the idea they can tell Trump where to bomb and where not to bomb. When they come, they bomb that Dangote refinery. What are you going to do? Are you going to cry? So I'm sure some of you will be happy. Because until you see your own heritage, your own people destroyed because you are so brainwashed so badly. And we are inviting internet. We are inviting everything. We live on people's, let's face it, we are living on their mercy. We are using their devices. We are going on their internet. There's a reason why Netanyahu was complaining the other day that they need to take control of TikTok. Because they know they control the minds of people with these things. And yet, if our people had critical thinking, would they not realize that, okay, maybe we shouldn't be putting our fellow Nigerians into these things? But why would you think like that? Because you've lost it already. You actually think that they're your friends. How can they be your friends? They have a duty to other people. They have a duty to themselves, not to you. You don't blame another woman for caring for their child, do you? It's common sense. But our people have so far removed from common sense lately. I don't understand it. They do what are you doing to care for your own future generation? You advocate for things you can't control. You can't control it. We know that already. History has suggested that when they went to Libya, they were going to save the Libyan people from Gaddafi. How did they manage to start bombing water plant that Gaddafi was designing for the country? An innovative water plant that would have given Libya a lot of fresh water, which they lacked. Why did they bomb that? Because they want to set the country back decades. In other words, steal their future away from them until they come back for the rest. We truly need to have that common sense thing. It sounds hard. That's why I put it simply. Think about what your forefathers would do if they had the chance to redo it again. These forefathers are not this, their blood flows in our veins. The further you deviate from their thoughts, the further you are walking into the wilderness, and you don't have a future, and I can assure you, you will not. Thank you. Is anybody? Oh, I think KJ is muted. Okay. Can anybody hear me in the chat? And OT, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right. So, have you had your say? You've had your say, haven't you?
I have, yes.
Okay. I'm not exactly going to close the show for OT, KJ, so I will let him come back here. We can't hear you. So who is saying they cannot hear me? Setika, you are a troublemaker. You probably can hear me. You know, Setika is just a troublemaker. You were saying you can hear me. Yes, you could. So I guess I'll just keep here until KJ returns. Yeah, this whole episode, you know, I just feel like in time, when all this is settled, I hope it settles. Nigerians would have learned one thing: the idea that we don't have potential enemy. At least I've been saying it before, where we were like, nobody's going to come and attack us. That one would have been ruled out. How did I know that?
Listen,
so, to Nigeria, are you in support of terrorists?
Listen, forefathers. Listen,
forefather, are you in support of terrorism in Nigeria?
Sorry, okay, enough of it. Hold on. You see, if
you are the one supporting terrorists,
hold on. Sorry, let me just say something before you answer, forefathers. So you see, Yahoo thesis really falls apart by the mere fact that if any superpower, if America wanted to attack Nigeria, they wouldn't need any excuse. I mean, really, what power, what defense do we have against them, against their machinations, against their, if like, insidious, oppressive power, to say nothing of the hard power. So what are you talking about?
The idea that
we don't need to invite them.
Let me do two and fro. Let's do two and fro. We don't need to invite them, but the idea that let me go two and fro with you.
If they want
I talk.
If they wanted to attack us, I think looking fine. Do you think they would need an excuse for that, a reason for that? So what's the point of the argument?
They don't need an excuse, but they use one because they need it so that other people don't just say that is their policy to just come and attack anybody. But they could have used anything really.
Okay,
that's
so
the truth.
Forefather,
if it's about our resources,
just a minute.
I never said anything about resources. I don't know why we keep talking about resources.
What is it about then? What is it about?
They know more. I think it's more about China, about that, and making sure Nigeria is kept in check.
It boils down to resources. It's a competition, is it not?
Yes, it's competition.
And influence. Okay.
Yes.
It's
not because they need it. Try to understand. It's not necessarily because they need the resources for themselves. Maybe to deny their enemy resources. If your enemy is looking for water to drink and they are choking, you want them to choke to death. That's what America is trying to do, trying to strangulate China one way or the other. Whether it hurts us or not, they don't care. It's about their interests. Like I said, that is their duty to protect their interests.
Okay, you mean killing those terrorists in Nigeria is America's interest just because they just want to protect their interests?
Oh, so you are the Secretary of Defense of America telling them what they are going to bomb. One.
Okay, is any of your family members?
Can I finish?
Just a question. You can answer that together. Any of your family members live in IDP camp?
Do
Has
I
any
look
of your
like
family member be
do I
buried
look like I'm
by
going to
terrorists?
start telling you anything about my personal life online? Maybe you should tell me your grandfather's name and your sister's this whereabouts. See, let me say this to you. If you are asking me a kind of question about whether I'm supporting terrorism, I'm 100% against terrorism. But remember, the people you support have confessed to funding the terrorists, and we know they fund terrorists. They've
Who?
confessed to it. The
America fund
Americans,
terrorists.
yes,
Is that what you're
yes,
saying?
yes.
So the UK
You
you
didn't
live
know
right
that.
now fund
Hold
terrorists.
on, you didn't know that.
Okay, UK you
Okay,
live right now
okay.
fund terrorists.
No, I asked you a question. You didn't know that.
Innovate. No, please.
I'm asking you.
You see, you don't want to answer
Hold
question.
on,
You just want to. I
hold
don't
on,
know who you represent. You don't want to be
hold
truthful
on, hold
to
on,
people.
hold on, hold on,
You want
forefather,
to be
hold on.
truthful.
We
Answer
have
the
gone
question
beyond.
truthfully.
No. We're not going
If you
there.
want me to
We
answer,
have
I'm
already
ready.
done.
If KJ allow me.
No, I'm not allowing anybody. We have done 3 hours, 20 minutes. So let's end it. We can come another time and deal with that issues. Nothing we do today that's going to, I don't know why my internet threw me out, but all the same,
Yeah.
I thank you, forefather, for solutions. I thank you also, Innovate, for coming. Today, I'm blessed. It's Eccentricas that was blessed me or blessed the channel with $5. That is very good because I'm not one of Eccentricas fans. So, or rather, he's not one of my fans. So, I don't know. He maybe he's having a change of mind. I no longer look to him like So I
IPOB.
appreciate. I appreciate. No. I'm IPOB. I don't. You see, I'm indigenous. I'm Igbo, and so I don't mind. Anybody can call me IPOB. It doesn't matter to me. At this moment in my life, I don't care what anybody thinks about me either. I'm not here for popularity. I'm not looking for popularity. I'm just simply speaking the truth of any situation, how I feel it and how I see it. I may not always satisfy people's desire, but that's my opinion and I hold title to it. I do not see why. You see, this is my conclusion, and I'll say this. From the beginning, AI is coming, but my fear is that why AI is coming, we are still dealing with mundane things like electricity, pipe-borne water, good road, school, governance. We have not even been able to get through with these things. The other day, I was reading what led to the first military coup in 1966. We're in 2025. Those things that those majors read out is still with us today. We still don't have drugs in the hospitals. We still don't have good roads. We still don't have pipe water. We still don't have electricity. We still don't even have corrupt-free politicians. It is in this government that we see that a politician can say, I bought Rolls Royce. Yes, so what? He's saying it and he's still in the office. It is in this politics that we see somebody say, yes, I own a house in Florida. It was gifted to me by my in-laws. Meanwhile, your in-laws don't even know, they've not even crossed Port Harcourt. Talk of all owning owning the money to give you to buy $2 million house in Florida. Are you kidding me? And he's still in the office. That is the situation we see ourselves. It's in this government we see that one man knows everything. He's the emperor of Abuja. He knows everything. Every other person is not telling the truth. Once it doesn't come from him, that is, you cannot be right. And no society, no matter what you price yourself to be, can survive that way. Nobody has a monopoly of knowledge or understanding. Not even if you are an elected official. Your position is not sacrosanct. It's not permanent. Okay, it's very transactional. Tomorrow you'll be out of the office, and that which you fear will follow you. The masses, or I hate to use the word, but the citizens that refuse to train today, there will definitely be a problem for your children and your children in the future. If you doubt me, ask the leaders of the North, and they will tell you that. So, what am I trying to say in essence? I'm trying to say that we are yet to get through the mundane things of life before we begin to talk about building a nation. And that brings me to building a nation. If you want to build a nation, do you build a nation without justice and righteousness. I'm a Christian. The Bible says that God's throne only lands on righteousness and justice. If there's no righteousness, there's no justice, the throne of God cannot land in your land. It cannot be seated on your land. And that's why we are in Nigeria. Finally, the argument that America is coming to take our resources, I don't even know if, I shouldn't talk about that. You see, America never said they're going to come and bomb Nigeria. They know exactly what they want to do. They are coming for what? For terrorists. They know who the terrorists are. There's Senator Ted Cruz. By the way, people call him all kinds of names. Senator Ted Cruz, if you go read his history, he is one of the crack lawyers in America. He's very knowledgeable. In fact, most Americans praise him for his intelligence. But people whose Senate president can't even speak, he can't even call out figures of...
Seriously, Ted Cruz?
Yes.
Ted Cruz is known for his intelligence.
What are you saying?
Come on.
What
They mock that said he came to the Senate to defend the rights of Israel, not America. Israel.
That is what your leftist media says. He never said that.
Tucker Carlson is of the right.
Hold on. I watched that interview with Tucker Carlson. I watched it. He never said that. They spin it around, but that's not my issue. He's a lawyer. He's a well-recognized lawyer in America. Okay? He's an attorney. Well, a good one for that matter. In any case, you don't have to believe me. That's, for you to find out. Having said that, I don't think that if America now, even without insurgents, want to come into Nigeria and take all their resources, they can't do that. So let's not kid ourselves. Who is making the way for them to be there? It is you and I, your bad government, that will not accept justice and righteousness. It is your government who have refused to feed their people, allow people to be quiet every day in numbers. It is the people who have lost in Nigeria without war is more than the one that people are screaming about in Gaza.
I agree with you, but in service to whom?
Hold on.
They are serving the same people you are inviting.
These are undeniable facts.
Hold on.
No, it's a fact. I agree, but in service of whom? The government are serving the people you are inviting to destroy the country.
No. That's a different.
Who do you think Tinubu serves?
That's another distraction digression.
Please.
It's a fact.
Please. See, listen. And I said that again. We are the ones who have opened the door for the foreign people to come in. You have all the time, 15 years and counting. You know when they first shot the first massacre in Nigeria? Over 30 years now, we've been dealing with the issue of Fulani herdsmen in the north. The church was dealing with it quietly. So when people come and speak, they just speak as if it started yesterday. It didn't start yesterday. The riots in the north has continuously to expand out of. Remember when they wanted to do Miss Nigeria in Abuja? Do you know how many people died in the north? Over 2,000 people. Okay, because of the fact that they want Ben Bruce want to organize Miss World in Abuja. So how long shall we continue to play this hanky-panky? How long? How long shall we continue to have two sets of rules, one for certain people, one for the other? How long shall we continue to have two sets of constitution?
Systems of laws.
One called Sharia, one called the Constitution of the Federal Republic. How long? So we need to tell ourselves the truth. Do we want a nation? Yes. If we don't want a nation, let us all divide. And when we talk, people say Igbos are shouting. Why would we shout? See, now they're saying Igbos are the ones who went to invade America. How? But now the whole media in Nigeria now is calling IPOB and calling the Igbos in America who went to meet Donald Trump to invite Donald Trump. You forget that your president, the late Buhari, and the present one went to White House to have meeting with John Kerry. And what was their presentation? They were Christian massacre in Nigeria that Jonathan is not taking care of. The pictures are there, the videos are there. Unfortunately, some people don't want to tell themselves the truth. Okay? So, but now it has gone around the circle.
Were they right to do that? Were they right to do that under
That's not a
Jonathan?
question. That's not a question.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
a
They
question.
submitted a
If they
letter.
were not right,
It's
so
not,
you saying it's
listen.
wrong, is it not wrong to do it now again?
You see,
No,
what I
no,
don't like.
you don't answer simple questions. Were they right to do it then?
No. You are the one. No, that's not a reason, because you are gaslighting here, and I don't take that. The
No,
question
not
we are talking
gaslighting.
about is,
If they are not right, then what makes you think it's right now?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about right. I'm talking about who they said is the one that went to White House to invite them over. That's what I'm talking about. I don't want to miss my point, because you guys do that and take away the point. The point is that it's not the Igbos that went to White House. The people who went to White House. I have photos of Lai Mohammed reading out the same thing. Lai Mohammed as the Minister of Information, saying that Christian genocide going on in Nigeria. You people think these things are not there on the internet. Okay? And so if of course I don't want to go to the little lady who was shouting about and saying Igbos are not important. If the Igbos are the problem of Nigeria, let them go. What is the problem? It was so difficult. Let the people go. You say they are evil. Let them go with their evil. You say they are not useful. Let them go with and go and kill themselves, since they are looking for how to kill themselves. Why are you defending them? Why are you defending them from killing themselves? So that's the contradictions in Nigeria. Then if we say we want to live as one, let us meet. Let us draw a line that will be good for the thief man, for the Idoma man, for the Agatu, for the Igede, for the Tolo, for the Angas, the Juro, the Biron, the Jukum. Let's draw a line that everybody be represented, clan by clan or tribe by tribe, or whichever way we decide.
What makes you think that after that one they were not going to ask for more?
Why are you thinking of that? Hold on, forefather. Why are you going ahead?
Because the moment you finish that meeting, some other person will ask for more. That's why Femi is correct. You have to build while you do those things. You can't just stop and say, let's have conversation after conversation after conversation.
Build on faulty foundation. Is that what you mean?
No foundation is perfect. America is not perfect.
That's an argument.
No, yeah.
More
than 50% of Republicans want to secede. Do you know that? No, do you know that more than 50% of Republicans want to secede? No country is.
That's not correct.
You want me to show you the poll?
No,
more than 50% of Republicans want to secede from America today.
Hold on. The people who voted Donald Trump into government, they are who?
They want to secede.
When did they say that?
I'm telling you, more than 50% of Republicans want to secede. Okay, at least.
Okay, sir.
Large amount of them want to secede.
There's not arguing with forefathers. It's just
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that, Mr. Oti, the logic man doesn't want the logic.
It's about logic. It's not. It's experience. You know, it's a fact. It's honesty, sincerity.
Seriously,
if you don't
honesty,
have it, we're wasting our time.
You are inviting the founder of terrorism to come and attack you.
Thank you so much.
Good night, everyone. Have a nice week.
Have a good night. And that brings me to Mr. again, forefather. Forefather, I don't want to get into any arguments. I see Mr. Loco behind. I don't also want to get into that argument. I simply just want to round up, and that will be the end of it. And what's the end of it?
Loco just look like an argument. Loco is very funny. Sorry about that.
Which way we want to go? If we want to build a nation, we build on equity, justice, and righteousness. If we don't want to build a nation, let us scatter it. There is no need for every day we are looking for who to accuse, who to blame, who to say did this, who to say didn't do that. Majority of which is even false. So if we have come to a position where Nigeria is now a place where every day we'll count numbers of people, 35, 32, 35, 32. Okay, since the last time that Donald Trump made his announcement, you don't want to know how many people have gone, the other way. But that is not the issue. The issue is that every nation on earth that wants to make a difference always draw first and foremost. Look for the points where there is issues and deal with it. For so long, people have been saying, we are not satisfied with this contraction. Let us discuss it. You don't want to discuss it. You don't want to discuss it. So if the people don't matter, then why are you having them a part of your nation? So I don't know. Please, Mr. Loco, much as I respect you, I think you should accord me the same thing, please. At least, much as I respect you, accord me the same thing. I read theater as my first degree. I can be very insultive. I just want you to know that. But I give you that respect again. All right. Having said that, for that, thank you so much. And that brings the show to a close. Remember that next week, Sunday, we will be here with Reverend Ezekiel. And we'll be also taking it from there when we finish the first interview and looking at, he is on ground. So he has a full data of what's happening in the northern area of Nigeria. He will tell us, we'll just what Forefather is asking, whether it is, hyperbole that the people have been playing, or it is reality that's on ground. We'll find out from him on Sunday. He is on ground. His videos are all around. You all can check him out and find out. So when you come prepared. Although I want to put a caveat, who may not entertain some people who make nasty comments. Next Sunday will not be the day for it, because you don't play with people's pain. Somebody who has buried over 2,000 people, you don't want to play with people's pain. So if you come next week Sunday and you put up an attitude, rest assured we will ban you from this channel. I can tell you that much.
But you hold on. Are you trying to say that people that question, let's say they ask for evidence of his assertions?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those people who come with nasty attitude to come and say, you don't know what they're talking about. I would not have tolerate that. I think the channel has become a bit too loose. So anybody can come and throw any this and walk away. It shouldn't be so. It's a free channel. Much as it's free, you don't also have to come and bring your idiosyncrasies to us. Deal with it by yourself. It's not a place where we're not here. It's not a party. We're not catching people out of their party here. Okay? If you're not being wait and win yourself somewhere before coming here. You people on this channel, I go to. One day I just said to go to one of the channels, and I see people here who come here and they shout for their right. They want to talk, even talk over. They don't talk over those people who are moderating. The moderators tell them to shut up, and they keep quiet. They keep quiet. But when you come to this place, you feel you can shout down on the person who's moderating and just decide it must be you who will say, and even when what you're discussing is not the topic we are dealing with. You bring your own topic, you discuss it. Okay, so we want everyone to have your say. But then at the same time, you should be able to control your mind. Yourself, you're an adult. You think using assertive language on somebody makes you a better speaker? You think, talking down on people makes you a better speaker? Are you telling somebody, I know you are slow I think you are too slow, I think you are slow. It makes you better than the person. And just like the lady said yesterday, which I took a lot, you see, intelligence is not measured by what you say here. So why, for crying out loud, don't you know where New York Times is? To go and give them an interview, let them take you. Since you are so intelligent and you want to expand that, pay them and speak on CNN. But anyway, I don't want to, overburden you guys. I'm just simply saying, when you are coming, it's a public forum. It's a public space. Maintain yourself. Make we also maintain ourselves. If you reach time when you won't be saying you want to insult people, find your level and leave. If what you're discussing is not interesting to you, go to somewhere else. If you don't even like my face at all, you switch off. You don't have to be here. Okay? And then, if I decide to discuss IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, it is my prerogative. If you don't want to hear it, go somewhere else. I cannot come and tell you, if you're a thief man, you're discussing about the thief issue, I come and tell you why you're always discussing about thief issue. What you should be discussing? Igbo issue. It's on this channel. Somebody was saying, why is Chimamanda always writing about Igbos? What should you be writing about? What is the Professor Wole Soyinka, what did he get it on? It's not on Yoruba culture and tradition. Did he write about the Igbos? I don't know how, when people, you see, but those who ask that question, to him, he was showing that he's knowledgeable. He's knowledgeable. Why is Chimamanda? They're always writing about Igbo. What in Igbo do now? What in? What did they do now? I beg you. So that's the pain, you know. If we want to build Nigeria, let's build it. You know, if we don't want to build Nigeria, let us sit down on the round table and shake hands and say goodbye. If we want to build, let's build it. And some people come here and say, go back to your state and go and build your state. I will show you pictures of Igbo land. Okay? And this program, I'm asking people to send it. I will show you videos of Igbo land. So you know that there's nowhere to build. We're already built up. Okay? So it's not about the fact that I'm looking forward to develop. Well, we're fully developed. Fully. So, sorry, that's my own personality. It's not part of this program. But I just wanted to say that. And let us try as much as possible to control our emotions, ourselves when we come. It's not that it's a platform where people just come and trade insult at one another. None of us here speaking will change Nigeria tomorrow. We've been speaking on this panel now for how many years now? It has not changed. So why do we have to come and insult each other so much so that we can no longer be able to even speak to one another? There's no need for it. That's my take. And I just want to give diaspora support. 1 second. Just say hello and goodbye.
You don't need. Why would you do that? 1 second to say hello and goodbye. Would there be any need? After you don't insult me, finish. Tell me, say I be arguments and that. Why would you say that? Somebody that's not even on the show, you make negative comments. Then you want me to insult you. Mama, keep quiet. Now, so you did behave.
But I didn't insult you.
You did. Why would I do that? I'm not in the show. I'm not in the. I just the panel. Sorry, logo. I cannot bring you. We're almost closing this and that. Case closed. Dead. Why making statements? But today, beg, no, not getting it. No. Hello, okay, everybody. So, how you all doing? Have a wonderful day. Peace out, guys.
So you see it now. Hey, Nigeria, we very.
No, sometimes look, see, bro. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you there. Try to understand people. Sometimes just try to understand people. You understand? If somebody say things, yeah, bro, they're seeing from their own lens. Everybody must not see it from your lens first. Nobody can even see from anybody's lens. You understand? So, probably that way, fine. There's several times, even this guy, Bubumri said it, like, we sometimes we argue and agree later on. It doesn't mean we agree with our friends. Okay. There's definitely be a meeting point. But your own, if somebody come from one lens, no, it's anything against Igbo, against Igbo. Why? No. Wait, if you see me one-on-one and notice that I know or things that I do or things people that I hang out with, you will be shocked. But the internet, so anybody can be anybody on net. So you are free to accuse anybody who they are. But when you don't know anybody one-on-one, don't accuse them on anything first because you don't know. Like tell me say somebody hates Igbo. At what? Why? Hate you on so if I hate you, I will not be rich. Or if I hate you, my life will not be better than your life. I don't understand.
So how does that come?
It's not nice.
How does that come in?
It's not nice. I know because only Philippines okay, you are talking about like Igbo, whatever that. I was in the background. So I don't want to bring a local in because I don't want to argue and this and that. Then you will continue. Then you now switch from there to Chimamanda writing book. Why do people hate Igbo? This and that. So you're like, man, what the fuck is all this? Where did this come from? You understand? I'm at the background. If you cannot bring me in because we want to close, say that. It has been happened several times. Any weapon did not fall. You get my point? But as if no, you don't want to bring me in because you don't want me to argue with you. That means you don't get biased already, which is not nice. And on a very good day, this show belongs to somebody else. Fine, you can contribute to control, but put it in mind that this show, even if it's your own, you've already put out a show that this is a public, open show for every dick and Harry, everybody. But just come and be respectful and be civil, period. But now you now have something that doesn't belong to you now. You are now putting an embargo on some people. No, I don't want you to come here. How will you feel if I took something that belongs? I'm driving a car that is not my own. Then I'm the one choosing who to carry and not to carry. Meanwhile, the motor is not my own. For my part, you go laugh at me and say, look, it's my woman. You use motor pose. Motor will not get the pose. You will laugh me now. So that's how it is. Just
okay. So let me tell you something. You have spoken what you want to say. Okay. Yes, I don't own the channel, but I'm the one running it now. I'm the one moderating it. So at least I have ownership of what I'm moderating right now. And I
Hold
on, sir.
You own the sanity.
You are talking.
You own the sanity. Hold on. You own the sanity of the show.
Talking.
But not to
listen
ban
to you.
anybody.
See, that is always the problem. You are speaking. I kept quiet and listened to you. Now I want to speak. You are speaking over me. Okay? You are speaking over me. And you are making it look as if what I'm saying is not correct. But however you see it, it's your prerogative. Like you said, we all can always agree. And I don't know anybody who can come to this channel and say, I have told you to agree with what I'm saying. I said those opinions are mine and I own them. And I will canvass it whether the people like it or not. It's simple. Okay? You see, because people always find a way of blaming you for something. It's okay. And like I said, I mean, when I'm sitting here, Rudolph owns the channel, yes. But when I'm sitting here, I'm not Rudolph. I'm KJ. Okay? And when I'm sitting here, I'm not Rudolph, I'm KJ. So that's what I want to say. And if I'm handling a program, I don't want anybody to come here and insult people. Simple.
Fair enough. That is the sanity of the show that I want you to own. You get my point?
No. You
say no because this person argues or doesn't agree with you. That you want to ban the person or this and that. That is where I don't agree with you. You understand?
Like I said,
everybody has a no.
I respect your view, but please don't try to tell me what to do. Please.
I'm not telling you what to do. Look,
so
everybody can do what I do.
If I
have the right to tell you that you are wrong. You get my point?
Listen,
I can tell you that you are wrong.
If I get into the program and I feel they are being disruptive, I can stop you. I can also decide that whenever I'm having my program, if you come, I will not let you in.
No, you can't decide that. That's what you're
I can decide it, and I'm telling you that. You see,
I do that.
If you push me, you know, you go surprise with that.
No, see. Oh, you didn't make one mistake. Eh?
All right, good night. I haven't said that. I want to conclude this way by saying, you know what? This channel is open to everybody. But when you are coming, like I said earlier, leave your idiosyncrasies, as I want to say, put it. Leave that behind. Come and let's discuss. If you have an idea, let's canvass it. We can agree, we can also agree to disagree. But let us not insult each other. I make my point very clear again. I will not sit here and you come, you're either insulting somebody in the panel or insulting somebody on the... I will not take it any longer. It's as simple as short. If you are coming, come. Keep your rudeness out. Okay? Keep yourself, control yourself. This is a mature channel. It's not for people who are still playing children. That's simple. Every channel has its own rules. Okay? You cannot come and you're insulting people and talking down people and telling them they are slow in understanding and all that. They are ignorant and all of you are ignorant. What, how? If you feel you know so much, start a channel and then see how it goes. Or if you even don't want to start your channel, apply to Rudolph. Say you want to be a panelist. We'll open the space for you. So you can come and talk to people the way you want and invite your own guests and insult them if that's what you want. But if you are not going to do that when it's your own guests, or when you go to other channels, you don't go there and insult the people. What makes you think you should come here and insult people? What makes you think? If you think this channel, the person sitting here, KJ, is pro-Igbo, is always doing Igbo things, then when you see me, don't sign up because I'm going to talk about the Igbos. I said this many times before. You can't take that away from me. Okay? You can't take that away from me. I will discuss the current affairs as much as it concerns me and my tribe. You know, I will talk about it. Having said that, next week we'll say we're going to talk about what is going on in the Middle Belt. If you think it's too emotional for you, don't come in. It's as simple and short. Having said that, have a good night, everybody.
I